Hello friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Sunday Donkey. We're gonna work on the, look at the little smiley face. Look at the little smiley face. We're gonna be working on the motors and ESCs a little bit for the 3 for sale glides. And we're going to dive right into Tinywhooping. Why not? And this is a Q&A stream, of course, as they all are. I feel like the most value I can offer you guys is answering your questions over 6 years of FPV things. So yeah, stay a while and listen. Blizzard FPV was first, Apache Smoke Wound and Sniper was next. Bob Bruce, Michael D, Bulldog FPV, Espander, Stavel FPV, James Flores, Michael D again, License to Drive, Ed K, Jimmy Nature, Kenny Kobe, Robert Rosser, Athix FPV, GJP FPV, Chris Long, Rob Axelson, EBR, Fun Per Volt, Ed K, Technique, Yella Captain, Abraham, Michael D again, Northern Tier, Rob Axelson, Technique again, Athix, Abraham, Chris Long, James Flores. What's up, friends? Thanks for coming. Stick around and let's fart. If you want to talk directly to me, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV, and it'll light up in orange like this. That way, I know that you're talking to me. Otherwise, I'll think that you're talking amongst yourselves. The folks in the chat here are incredible. Super knowledgeable, great pilots, great builders, really technical. So yeah, don't just ask stuff to me. If you ask a question and chat responds, it's probably the right answer. If you want me to look at it, for sure, tag me. But yeah, our chat is pretty wild around here. I'm very lucky to have a community of people that have latched on to me, who are so intelligent. So yeah, this is a very collaborative kind of live stream that we do here. I learn a lot from chat. Hopefully, chat learns from me. And away we go. Apache Smoke tagged me and said, "What's up, Gangly Gang? How's everybody doing this rainy Sunday?" Bob Bruce says, "What's up, all you early ganglers in CiottiFPV? How's it going? Killed the prop shafts on my Gores. Would Happy Model 26,000 motor barrels will work on them? Absolutely. If not, no biggie. I'll just order some 30,000s. Yep, absolutely, Bob Bruce. My best friend in the whole wide world, P. Richard Scott, came over and a couple of days ago, and he took my word for it and did the ultimate freestyle Tinywhoop with the Gore motors. But unfortunately, he put the tri-blade gem fan props on, which they're really tight on the prop shafts. And in the process of me getting those propellers off, which I have about the best way of doing that with this Weehaw chip lifter, I bent all 4 of the motor shafts on his Gore motors. So I just happen to have an extra set of Gores, so I put them on his rig, and I kept his, and I think I've got a full set of the 0702 26,000s that I will painstakingly remove the C-clips from and swap the bells over. I've already done it. Like, I know that it works for sure because I've already done it, and because I know the people that... I'm pretty decent friends with both Jesse from Tinywhoop and Zotek from We Bleed FPV. And yeah, the Gores and the Tinywhoop motors are made by Happy Model to pretty much the exact same spec as their 26,000s. Not the identical spec. The big difference is the PCB, allowing you to easily swap out your motor leads. But other than that, the spec is identical. So yeah, the Happy Model 26,000 kV motor bells, which are available everywhere, will absolutely work on there. And for the record, you know, I know I talk a lot of shit about how great the 28,500 and the 30,000s are. It took me a long time to get used to that amount of power. So for most people that aren't willing to put thousands of batteries through their Tinywhoops, the Happy Model 26,000s are damn good. Is it worth it to... So, like, if you're doing an order on Get FPV with my affiliate link, and you snag a set of 26,000s, you're going to dig them. If there's some things that you want to get from We Bleed FPV or tinywhoop.com, for sure, you want to go with the higher KV. If that's too much, if it's too difficult for you to fly that amount of power, you just jump into the PID tap and use throttle limiting, and scale the throttle down to scale the motor limiting rather, scale it down to like 80%, and that'll give you basically the same experience as the 26,000s. You fly a couple of hundred batteries, you get used to it, you get good, and then you can start raising the power back up. With the 26,000s, you can't do that. But I want to make sure you guys know that the 0702 26,000s on the GemFan biblades, they fly great. If I'm honest, I actually prefer the 25,000 kV 0802s on tri-blades to the 0702 26,000s on biblades. You don't really want to run tri-blades on the 0702s because it's just not a big enough motor. The tri-blade is significantly heavier than the biblade. So yeah, there's that. The 0702s really come alive up above 28,000 kV. And at that point, I am a much bigger fan of those over the heavier 0802s on tri-blades or even biblades. The 0802s run good on biblades, but they have enough stator volume to handle a tri-blade, so you kind of might as well. Let me get caught up on chat real quick, and then we're going to throw this up in the air and fly a couple of batteries real fast. Michael D says, hello, CiottiFPV and Gangly Gang. PayPal. Oh, shit. This is my full-time job. If you'd like to support me on this wild and woolly journey that is trying to be a full-time FPV donkey, head on over to CiottiFPV.com. There's a whole bunch of buttons you can click. They all help me. Patreon helps me out the most. For 10 whole cents a day, you can join the Patreon and join the gangliest of gangs. It's the closest thing that I've got to a paycheck. It keeps the lights on around here. And you're going to get a whole shitload of benefits. You're going to get email notifications and Facebook notifications when I live stream, which is about 10 hours a week. You're going to get full access to the Patreon Discord channel rather, which is going to allow you things like the ability to rent out a box of every single stick end that exists so that you can use them and actually figure out which one you like, rather than just looking at a picture on a website and going, oh, that one is probably cool. And then you get it, and it's actually not, and you just wasted $30. You'll get a chance for your flight edits to be played on my giveaway live streams. For more than 10 cents a day, you can get in on bi-weekly giveaways. Every other Monday, I do 4 giveaways. 3 of which are for patrons only. So the $5, $10, and $20 a month tiers will enter you into these giveaways, and usually, depending on the tier, the prizes that you're going to win are from anywhere from like $30 or $40 to sometimes $80, $90 worth of stuff. So yeah, there's that. And if you want to be a super crazy supporter, there's a $30 a month tier, which will enter you into all of the giveaways, so you'll get entered into 6 giveaways a month. This Monday, tomorrow, is a giveaway stream. So right now is an awesome time to join the Patreon because it'll get you in on tomorrow's giveaways. It's all explained over there. Click the Patreon button and I'll keep doing these live streams forever. Yeah, I'll do these forever. Etsy has some stickers and hardware you might need for your next build. Stickers are just amazing. Fiverr, you can work directly with me one-on-one. If you want to skip 6 months, a year's worth of knowledge, knowledge, I can't think of the word. Discovery. If you want to skip like 6 to 12 months of knowledge discovery on your own, digging shit up, we can work together and I can take you through build planning so that you stop buying parts that don't work or just don't work well. We can work on tuning together. I will literally teach you how to tune and get your stuff tuned up so that it flies better and so that you know how to adjust it in the future. Or straight up flight instruction. We get into the simulator together. I watch you fly. I give you pointers. You can watch me so that I can explain things. And yeah, you'll get better at flying. And it'll feel good. It feels good to be good at flying. There's a period of like uncertainty in flying where like it's still fun, but it's kind of annoying. Once you get properly good at flying, it's a really freeing kind of thing, and I definitely recommend it. It's really, yeah. It takes a long time to get good. It takes a long time, and it takes a good amount of like stubbornness, if I'm completely honest. But if you put the time in, and we're talking minimum hundreds of hours, if not thousands, if you put the time in, it's a really amazing thing, and it's probably going to take years, but yeah, it's a really amazing thing, and I can definitely help you with that. Like, I've been through that process all on my own, and I've figured out what works and what doesn't work, and I've figured out what drills you can do that actually make a difference in real-world freestyle flying and even cinematic flying. So yeah, I can kind of help you along that journey. If you find yourself like plateauing, where you feel like you're not getting any better, that's where I can definitely help. That is absolutely something that's going to happen more than once. I don't have enough fingers or toes to count how many times that happened to me over the last 6 years. But I'm a stubborn bastard, and I've figured out ways to kind of push through it, and I would love to impart that knowledge on you because it really is a special thing to get properly good and be totally comfortable in the air, to where you can start doing really gnarly stuff. So Yeah, Fiverr is a really cool website. There's all kinds of other people doing amazing shit on there, but yeah, I've been having a blast working one-on-one with you guys. Teespring, there's a bunch of shirts, and my favorite thing is a tote bag that says "Kill all carbon" because you know you need a spot to put your broken carbon. And just other stuff. PayPal, if you don't want to do a super chat because YouTube takes 30%, you just do the PayPal thing and then in the chat tag me and say, yo, Ciotti, PayPal. Just like, I can't see it. It's hidden behind the window. Look, I can move the window. Just like Michael D said here. FPV Exchange is a wonderful website run by a wonderful human being. And then I've got a whole bunch of affiliate links here. When you're buying stuff on the internet, think about your buddies that are creating content. It's tough to create content full-time like this. So think about us. If you like watching us for free, we do need your help. Affiliate links are completely free. They don't affect you in any way. You just have to remember to click them. A lot of folks have like replaced their bookmarks with affiliate links. That way they don't have to remember. Or like if you're like me and you just type like get into the URL bar and it autofills get FPV, do that, type get, and then off on the right, there's going to be an X. For you guys, it's off on the right. There's a little X. You can X out of just regular old getfpv.com and then like hit your favorite person's affiliate links a bunch of times, and then every time you type get, it'll see that you've hit that affiliate link a bunch, and that'll be the suggested URL that it brings up. So yeah, We Bleed FPV, Newbie Drone, FPV Cycle, Amazon.com, Get FPV, Oh My God's website, Flywoo, and Banggood, Camera Butter as well are where I've got affiliate links. Hey, Stavel FPV, thank you for the $13 super chat. I'm going to read your comment in a minute when I get caught up on chat here. New patron, $5, Christopher King. He's getting in on tomorrow night's giveaways. Welcome to the Gangly Gang, Christopher. Thank you for the support. It means a lot. Michael D with a $25 PayPal. Thank you, brother. He says, the HD0 goggles will be my first non-box style. Oh, man, that's a hell of a first non-box goggle. For the battery, should I storage charge it like I do my Whoop batteries after each flying session? What receiver module do you recommend for analog? Everything okay? Okay. It's a huge smash. So I don't specifically know what chemistry battery that those are going to come with. I suspect it's going to be a LiPo. Technically speaking, yes, if it's a LiPo, you should storage charge it. I don't know of anybody that does, though. And the main reason why nobody does that is that goggle batteries don't need to discharge all the way within 3 minutes like a flight battery. So a goggle battery, so like if you don't storage charge your batteries, and you leave them charged all the way, you just let's just say mistreat them. The internal resistances will go way up. And so for a flight battery that you need to discharge all the way within 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, that makes a big deal because you're going to hammer the throttle, you're going to ask for a ton of power, and the internal resistances are going to be too high for it to give you all the power that you want. And yeah, that battery doesn't fly as good as your newer batteries. With goggles, they're not in that situation. They're going to take a half an hour to an hour and a half to discharge that goggle battery. So if the internal resistances get really high, it kind of doesn't matter. That being said, it's not necessarily good for the battery. Like if you want the battery to last the maximum amount of time, yes, you should storage charge it. But that'll drive you crazy. So yeah, I would just not do that. Live your life, and a year from now, or probably longer than that, probably 2 years from now, you'll have to buy another goggle battery. Oh, boo fucking who. At that point, there'll be a bigger, better battery or whatever. So yeah, don't drive yourself crazy doing that, because that's going to be super annoying. The battery's going to be at 3.8, and you're going to want to go fly, and you're going to have forgotten to charge it, and it's just going to drive you crazy. So yeah, I would not do that. Just buy another goggle. And to be honest, you should have 2 or 3 goggle batteries anyway. So yeah, do that. Buy a few extra goggle batteries, and then they'll really last a long time because you can keep like one of them storage charged, and then the other 2 you can cycle between them. When one goes dead, you throw the other one in. and they'll just last a lot longer that way. So yeah, do that in my recommendation. What receiver module do you recommend for analog? I don't think there's ever going to be anything that's going to beat the Rapid Fires. Yes, they are a little bit expensive, but you can probably find one used for pretty cheap. The TBS module is also a really good choice. I don't think it's quite as good as the Rapid Fire, and to be honest, on analog, we need all the help we can get. So I'm an absolute firm believer of Rapid Fire. I also really like the company. Immersion RC is run by Tony Cake, who is a really cool person. TBS is run by Trappy, who is kind of a dick, if I'm honest. Like, sorry, but he is. Like, he's shown himself to be a dick on multiple occasions over the years. So yeah, I just personally don't run TBS gear because of that reason. That's me being a shallow bastard. So yeah, you do you. But I will absolutely buy the more expensive, better module made by a cooler dude. But again, that's just me. Thank you, brother, for the support. It means a lot. Michael D also says in chat, not sure if you saw it yet, but I DM'd you a link to the beta FPV 1102, 22,000 motors in Discord. Awesome, Michael D. I did not see that yet. Speaking of Discord, I do not have Discord opened, but now I do. Yeah, so 1102, 22,000 kV, that's a really interesting motor. Unfortunately, the beta FPV 1102s, I don't know what beta FPV did. I guess they used a lower quality metal for their motor shafts on those 1102s, but the motor shafts are super fragile. So I personally won't be buying any more beta FPV 1102s, and I kind of don't think that you guys should either. Although that is the highest KV 1102 around. So if you're building, if you want like a grunty 1S motor, that's a 3-bolt base for like Tinywhoop frames and little ultralight toothpick frames. That is the one. Buy some extras because you're gonna bend motor shafts, but yeah, the 1002s are great and all, but an 1102 is a significant increase. An 1102 versus a 1002, like, it's easy to be like, oh, what's one extra millimeter? No. You got to think about it in percentages. 1002, 10 millimeters wide versus 11 millimeters wide. 11 is 10% bigger than 10. That's a big deal. A 10% increase in the width of the stator. That's a big deal. If you scale that up into 5-inch land, a 23 millimeter wide stator with a 10% increase is going to balloon up to 25.5 millimeters wide. It's a huge difference. 2306 versus 25.506. That's a big difference. So yeah, 1002 versus an 1102 is a big shift. But I can't recommend the beta FPV 1102s because I crash constantly, and if you're also going to crash constantly, you're not going to have a great experience with those motors. I'm a huge fan of the Newbie Drone Flow 1102s. Unfortunately, they don't have quite that high of a KV, so they're more of a 2S motor, which is perfect for the tiny lifters. But yeah, both motors are pretty cheap, so maybe get them both and try them. It's one of the great things about Tinywhoops is they're so inexpensive. Bulldog FPV says, what's up, ganglers and CiottiFPV gang? Gonna hang for a bit while batteries charged. I'm gonna fly the ripsqueak. 40 degrees is warm enough. Very cool, Bulldog. I am jealous of that. Stavel FPV says, hello, CiottiFPV. And all K says, afternoon collective. Rob Exelson says, hello, gangly collective. Yellow Captain says, hello, collective. And the mighty CiottiFPV. Thank you, brother. Rob Exelson says, got my Walk Snail VRX in now for the HD0 goggles. Have the best of 3 worlds. Very cool. That's pretty rad. Give us, when you've put a bunch of time in, brother, give us some reviews. Oh man, it's going to take me a minute to get caught up on chat. Rob Axelson says, smiley face, have a nice day. Martin Riggs. Bozadar Rare says, GG. No One FPV says, hey. Michael D says, or they could do like I did and join the $5 a month tier and increase the amount to $20. That's cool too. Yeah, you can join, like, if you only fly. So I have $5, $10, and $20 a month tiers. All right. The $5 a month tier is for Tinywhoop and Toothpick giveaway entries. The $10 a month is for 3-inch micro brushless and Tinywhoop stuff, and then the $20 a month is for 5-inch stuff. The price of the tier is because it costs me more or less money to buy those things to give to you guys. So if you only fly Tinywhoops, but you want to donate more than $5 a month to the cause, you can actually do that. You can just join the $5 a month tier, and then in Patreon, it'll let you just change your donation amount. So that's something that you can do. You can do it like up, like Michael D does. You can't do it down because that wouldn't be fair. But yeah, you can do that. Rob Axelson says, ask if anyone is interested in glide frame rails for 30x30 flight control in the front. I will upload it to Thingiverse. Rob, you should upload it to Thingiverse anyway. It's just always good to have stuff like that on Thingiverse. But yeah, Rob Axelson has figured out a way to put a 30x30 flight controller in the front of the Glide. Technically speaking, I don't personally recommend it because I crash a lot. If you don't crash a lot, you'll be okay. The reason I say that is you have to put the camera in front of the front standoffs. So if you crash a lot, you're going to smash the shit out of some cameras with that setup. But if you don't crash a lot, and I'm probably in the rarity that crashes 4 or 5 times per battery, just because I push really hard to try to get better and get better and get better, you'll be totally fine with that. And if, like Rob, you have a bunch of 30x30 flight controllers floating around, his 3D file is going to be awesome for you. So, Rob, upload it to Thingiverse anyway. But yeah, if anybody specifically wants it, it's Rob space Axelson in chat. ROB space AXELSSON. FPV with a $13 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. He says, you miss YouTube, so here you go. Plus 30%. Nice. Thank you, Stoffel. Very cool of you, my man. Thank you for supporting the madness. PJ says, HD0 goggles is my first non-box goggle, running it with rapid fire. Very cool. Damn it, a bunch of you guys have been on box goggles just waiting for something good. That's, man... I gotta be honest, when I first started into FPV, I stayed with box goggles for like a year and a half, like a long time. And it was just kind of the same thing. Like I was just waiting for a really interesting Fat Shark to come out. And when the HD3s came out, I was like, oh, this is it. More field of view. This is, well, actually less field of view than the HD2s, but it was like the right amount of field of view in the HD3s. And I was like, oh shit, this is it. I didn't get them right when they came out. I waited a little bit. And so I got my HD3s and I was like, oh shit, I'll never forget. I got them delivered to work. Is when I was living in Charleston. I got them delivered to work and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I got them out of the mailroom. I opened up my desk. And I'm like, oh, cool. I didn't like put them on or anything, but I like looked at the box, opened the box, like, oh my God. And then I started working for the day. And I go on fucking Facebook, and all over Facebook, introducing HDO2s with OLED screens. Oh my God, it's gonna revolutionize FPV. And I just sat there. Like, you goddamn sons of bitches. But then I read more, and they had less field of view, and they had like different optics, and I was like, ooh, I don't, maybe these HD3s are fine. And I still run HD3s. I might have dodged a bullet on that because the HDO2s, the HDOs, introduced the new lenses that sit a little closer to your eyeballs, and I have like big long Italian eyelashes, and people with big long eyelashes bitch all the time about the HDO goggles because your eyelashes touch the lenses and they get the lenses extra dirty, and it's just kind of obnoxious to have anything touch your eyelashes. And I've tried HDO 1s and 2s, and I actually don't like them as much as my HD3s. It might just be because I'm used to my HD3s, but yeah, I was fine. What annoys me is that the price on the HD3s went down that day, right? Because there was a new goggle announced. So that was kind of annoying, but hey, it is what it is. Those of you that waited with box goggles and now are getting HD0 goggles, just give yourself a little pat on the back because that's like epic. That's that's the shit. Like, because there really hasn't been an interesting goggle in a while. Like, the Orcas were kind of interesting, but man, they had some reliability issues. So yeah, good on you for staying the course and sticking with annoying ass box goggles. Believe me, I know the struggle. I used to drive home from flying and I wouldn't be able to focus on like the car's license plate in front of me because my eyes were like so tired from the weird focusing distance of box goggles. It was really like when I got Fat Sharks, the ability to like fly and not have my eyes be so tired was like the biggest deal. Like, yeah, there's plenty of things that suck about box goggles, but how tiring they were to my eyeballs was the worst. I was almost thinking I was gonna have to get glasses because like it was really messing my eyes up using those box goggles. And I flew a lot back in those days, but Cortez Campbell says, I'm new to the hobby and bought a Skystar LR 4-inch. I lost it, but now I have a Cetus X and I think I messed up the configuration. It flies, but not like in the videos I've seen. Cortez, keep in mind that the videos that you see are usually people that have hundreds, if not thousands of flight hours. So yeah, flight time is about 90%, 99% of it, to be honest. And then the tune and the rig is maybe like 1%, maybe 2%. So yeah, put the time in. I mean, unless you're selling your flight footage or using your flight footage to try to book paying gigs, it kind of doesn't matter what your flight footage looks like. Like, I know that you want everything to be completely smoothed out and professional looking, but like, it really doesn't matter. And to be completely honest, the worse your rig flies, the harder you're going to have to work. And the harder you have to work, the quicker you're going to get good, right? Like swinging with a weighted bat. If you swing with a weighted bat, you're going to get stronger. And then when you take that weight off, you're going to be blasting home runs all day, bro. Fucking sports ball. So, yeah, when you're new, really resist the urge to dive down the tuning rabbit hole. The other thing that happens when you dive down the tuning rabbit hole is that you've got something really easy to blame for every single big mistake that gets made. You can just blame everything on the tune. If you just leave the tune alone and blame yourself, then you're going to work harder to fix the flight problems. So you put the rig goes into prop wash. You can't just be like, oh, this tune sucks, or this quad sucks, or these props suck. You're going to have to go, oh shit, I put the rig into prop wash. Let me figure out how to not do that. And one of the secrets to pilots that have been doing this for a long time is that even with a really good tune, if you can not put the rig into prop wash, the footage is going to look better and you're going to get better battery life, because a really cranked up tune that can eat prop wash, like the prop wash is still there, the turbulent air is still there. The PID tune is going to have to access extra power from the battery to fight that prop wash, versus you don't put the rig into prop wash and you get more runtime and the motors stay cooler and the footage actually does look better, because you're never going to be able to get rid of all the prop wash. And if you do get rid of all the prop wash, the motors are going to have to crank up and make more power during that process. And so prop wash usually happens when you're traveling backwards, and you probably meant to do that. I mean, once you know what you're doing, you meant to make it go backwards. So if the cranked up tune is fighting all this prop wash, it's going to stop going backwards. And more often than not, that's not what you want. Like, if you wanted it to stop going backwards, you would put the nose down more and add throttle. If you want it to be going backwards into prop wash and you put it in just the right orientation for it to not prop wash, you're going to get a really nice backwards slide. And that looks fucking cool, because we drive forward all the time. And people your viewers get used to seeing your rig driving forward. Well, if you can all of a sudden slide backwards, it takes them out of it. It's like it's a weird word for it, but drama is a word. Stickman is one of the very first cinematic FPV pilots who hasn't put a video out in many, many years. But on an FPV podcast called the FPV show way back when. They interviewed Stickman, and he said something that I'll never forget, which is that he tries to show the complete. He tries to fly in a way that gives you the polar opposites. You fly really slow for a little bit, and then you fly really fast, and you like pull your viewer in to the slow flying, and then they're like, okay, this footage is flying slow, and then you hammer the throttle and you fly really fast, and it's like, oh shit, and then you go and you turn right for a while, and you like only turn right for a while, and you only turn right, and it's like, oh cool, a nice right turning orbit, and you blast to the left, it's like, oh shit. So like when you only show something, when you only show your viewer one thing over and over and over again, they're gonna get bored within about 30 seconds. Like, this is the thrashy style of flying and the stick bang style of flying for me. Like, I can watch it for like 10 or 15 seconds, and then it's just the same absolute mayhem and chaos, and I'm just out. I'm out. It really helps, in my opinion, to be like, to be more varied in what you do, and that's also like, you know, you don't want to be like a one-trick pony, right? Like, you wanna have range. You want to be able to do a lot of different things, like just slamming the sticks to the ends of the stick travel to do flips and rolls. Like, yeah, that's cool for a while, but like, there's no real skill to that. Like, sorry, but there kind of isn't. Like, anybody can just pick a transmitter up and go like this. Like, that's, you know, like, that's just, you just do it, and then it's done, and then so yeah, there's a bunch of info that you didn't ask for. Keep at it, Cortez. This is a rough hobby. That's probably not going to be the last rig that you lose. It's a part of the game. It's not an expensive hobby. It's going to feel like an expensive hobby, but it really isn't. Yeah, the simulator is a great thing because it's damn near free. And just keep going, brother. You got to put hundreds. I mean, like, your initial goal is hundreds of hours, but realistically, you're shooting for thousands of hours on the sticks. So use the sim a lot, because you can, for free, put hundreds and hundreds of hours in. I used to have a rule in like my second and third years of flying FPV, where I would never go to bed without spending at least a half an hour in the sim. And yeah, like, eventually the sim is actually not a good tool, in my opinion. But for your first few years of flying, it is a wonderful tool. So yeah, put as much time in there as you possibly can. Offx's FPV comments, I'm looking for it. I recently switched from wildfire to rapid fire, but seems to have issues with whoops flickering. That is more than likely that the camera in your Tinywhoop is not compliant. So rapid fire built their sync pulse reconstruction around, I think they had to do this, around cameras that adhere to like the industry standards for cameras. I forget what it is. I used to know it, but yeah, you can fix that on the rapid fire by turning it from rapid fire 1 to rapid fire 2. If it's still doing it, turn it on the legacy mode. Your wildfire module did not have any sort of sync pulse reconstruction, which is why you didn't have the problem on there. You can make your rapid fire do the same thing by putting it into legacy mode, but rapid fire 2 mode might actually work, and that'll be miles. I mean, to be honest, the hardware in the rapid fire is way better than the wildfire. So even on legacy mode, your rapid fire is going to be better. On number 2 mode, it's going to be way better. On 1 mode, it's going to be way better. But yeah, the problem is actually the camera itself. The camera manufacturer is just, it's the Wild West over there. I'm super curious. P. Richard Scott just texted me, and he's been in a tiling nightmare. Ah, nice. Yeah, we gotta fly downtown. I was driving through downtown. I had a gig last night, actually. It was an unpaid gig, but there were a lot of music producers and other people that might want to hire me in downtown Atlanta in a room. So I went and ripped around at Tinywhoop. Not Tinywhoop, Cinewhoop, rather. It's very fun. PJ said I had my box goggles for a year. It's time to move on. It is indeed. Bob Bruce says, thanks for the info. Have a hard time watching all your live streams in one go when you're live. It's all good, brother. Kevin Sumner says, yeah, I have difficulty with the HDO2's field of view, fuzzy on the left, right edge of the screens, IPD sliders all the way out. Yeah, I have that issue with all goggles. I never get crystal clear edge to edge. It's just kind of is what it is. Kevin Sumner said, oh no, we got that. Michael D says, regarding long eyelashes, that is my worry about the HT0 goggles. Interesting. I haven't heard anything about that yet. But Bot Grinder has super long eyelashes, so watch his review or just message him and he'll let you know. If it was an issue, he would probably have mentioned it in his review, because he did mention it in the HDO2 review that he did way back when. Rob Axelson says, I'm still flying with Fat Shark Dominator 3s. Nothing wrong with that, man. Fat Shark has some amazing old school gear. BJ says, is the gangly man a baseball guy? Only sports ball. I really enjoy it. No, I don't like any sports ball. I played many a sports balls growing up. I played them, not with them, you sick bastards. And then I was super into a bunch of different sports growing up, and I just drove it into the ground. And I watched a good amount of motorsport with my dad, which turned into me getting into motorsports in my 20s and 30s. And yeah, I prefer that. It's I don't know why, but motorsport is my one love. All the sports balls can, I don't know. I think there's also a different crowd around, like the different single ball, the different sports ball sports that only require a single ball, because as we know, motorsports requires two big hairy cojones. And the rest of the sports balls only, they only use one ball. The one ball sports, the fans around them piss me off. It's just more of a meathead culture, and I have zero patience for that. Motorsport is a more engineering crowd. It's a more, it's less. I'm not into NASCAR. I'm not into the redneck motorsports. But most motorsport is not redneck, and those are the ones that I sort of prefer. I don't know. That's just me, though. Michael D says, was that Patrick in the video at the beginning of the stream? If so, did he sell his Tesla for a truck? Nope, he has both. And yeah, that was Patrick. He's got the truck for throwing stuff in, and then he's got the Tesla. That video at the beginning of the stream was from eons ago. It was from... and hey, that's with a Tinywhoop. That's kind of like freestyle flying a Tinywhoop. That was 2021. November 17th of 2021. Yeah, that was fun. That was back in props out configuration on the Tinywhoop, and it still flew really good. So, Cinesplore all day, yo. Here we go. Marcel Alfaxa says, thanks, I'll try number 2, because Legacy was doing the same sometimes. Mobula 6 with Runcam Nano 3. I would think that the Runcam Nano 3 would actually... Runcam is usually really good about sync pulse... about the FCC standards. I think it's an FCC standard. Athix says Wildfire has sync reconstruction, but it's not as good. Really? I did not know that. Okay. Man, I have... Patrick had a Wildfire. He hated it. And I've heard a bunch of other people in chat talking shit about the Wildfire. So I just assumed that it didn't have it because so many people hated it. But yeah. Apache Smoke says, so how many balls do we need for FPV? I mean, I guess none. We don't really... We are a ballless bunch. Nimbus Blade says, what do I need to do when going from 1102 10,000 to 1204 5,000 with 40mm props? The main thing that you need to do is take a look at your battery voltage. You're going to probably need to double your battery voltage. But other than that, you should be fine. It kind of depends on all the different things, right? What rig is it? Flight style? How often do you crash? Like all these things that I ask folks that work with me one-on-one on Fiverr to get them into a rig that's like specifically suited for their needs. But technically speaking, yeah, you just have to double your battery voltage to make up for the fact that your KV is being cut in half. your stator volume is increasing a huge amount from 1102 to 1204. That is a mega increase in the grunt, the raw power that the motor is going to be able to produce. But that will not offset the fact that you've limited the RPM that the motor will do, which is what the KV controls, by half, by going from 10,000 to 5,000. So if you were on 1S, you need to go to 2S. If you were on 2S, you need to go to 3S or maybe even 4S. But again, a lot of that stuff depends on like what the rig is and all these other things. Bob Bruce says, I totally agree. I prefer sport that requires 2 balls. LOL. Let's fly this Tinywhoop around a little bit. I got 2 batteries that are that have been charged for 2 days, and I want to get them brought down as quickly as possible. And then I have another couple of batteries that are on the charger, which we don't have to fly on the stream unless you guys want to, but I charge them up because I've been really trying hard to fly 6 Tinywhoop batteries a night every night. So, yeah, there's that. Because I want to get better, yo. I want to get better. I want to be the best freestyle Tinywhoop pilot. God damn it. Hold on. Audio. Where is it? Is it media source? It's media source. There it is.
In the world.
There we go. I wish that would play back to me. I wish that would monitor back to me. Oh wait, no, I can't have it monitor back to me. That's right, because I don't wear headphones. Forgot about that. It would, if I had the monitoring set up on that, you guys would get a nasty echo.
Low battery.
All right. There we go. Let's do the thing. I forgot to arm it a minute ago, for the record. Anybody in chat see me grooving the other day on Instagram? I did a little Instagram stream playing drum set. I've never. That was the first time in like 20 years that I've played drums for an audience. I mean, I haven't played drums in about 20 years. For an audience more than one. Like, I've played for Maggie a couple of times now. But that's different. She loves me no matter what. Oops. Didn't know. I couldn't decide if I was going left or right on that one. Wait, did I knock that down already? No, I didn't. Oh, God! What happened there? Thought I would have made it through there. Look at this fucking guy. Look at this guy. What a dork. Oh, God! I thought I was going to get a little bit more height out of that blip, but then all of a sudden I was flying right at my face to the point where I was so sure I was going to hit myself that I actually closed my eyes in the goggles. And that threw me all off.
30 seconds.
I'm trying to get my new obsession is I'm trying to get this through there and then fade back into a Matty flip through the double. That's my current oh farts. That's my current impossible trick.
20 seconds.
Oh God. And I don't want to just do it as like a Hail Mary. I want to do it like controlled. Like I come down more slowly from this. And then just punch it right up and Jesus, I'm having a hard time today. And then just punch it right up into a Matty flip around there. Oh God. Oh boy! Having one of those days, it appears.
10,
What? How did I hit that?
9, 8, 7.
Oh my God. I don't know what's happening. I'm just, I'm having a hard time with like basic stuff today. Let's go upstairs. That'll make me feel better.
5.
Stop counting. Take it easy. Oh God, I'm just all over the place today. I never miss those. Nah, never, but I rarely miss those big power loops. I'll blame it on battery sag. Let's get up in here. Ooh! No. Railing. Oh god, railing. Oh, I went through it. That's nice. If you just plinko into the railing enough, you will go through it. Ah! I tried to cheat that a little bit, and I got caught cheating. Yikes. Oh, come on now. That's just silly. Let's, maybe I'm used to fly. I flew like half a dozen Cinesplore batteries last night, so maybe I'm just used to flying that. I need another minute to get my my swagger on. Bob Knox is in the house. What's up, homie? Cleaning my cleaning the lenses in these goggles a little bit here. All right, let's do one more real quick. Maybe I can get back in the zone. Well, I mean not back in, but in the zone. I feel like it's such a letdown when I'm flying like shit for you guys. Like I always want to fly really good for you guys, but it's just unrealistic. I especially for me. I don't know, man. I tend to like be very hot or cold with my flying. Like I have some days that that I am just absolutely on fire. But more often than not, I'm not absolutely on fire. I don't know. I can't play Clam Man anymore, Yellow Captain. It is now copyrighted. Jimmy Broadbent is getting dinged for it, and so am I. So Clam Man is no more, unfortunately. You guys can go watch it though. Just type Clam Man into YouTube. Wow, I can't believe it. It was like one frame that you could see. Oh, really? There was like one frame that you could see me going through that. I went through it so quickly. Wow, I'm having a really hard time judging with my pacing, basically. The pacing of coming back on the throttle. Ah, you fuck. Coming back onto the throttle to not hit the ground and shit. Man, I'm having trouble with everything right now. I'll tell you what though, I clean these goggle lenses and they look like HD now. They were very dirty. Missed it. There it was. Alright, let me farts. Let's do something a little bit more chill here. Let's work on this crazy little orbit. Oh, fart. The world's tightest orbit. Stop it! Stop counting. I'm trying to figure out like the center point for this orbit. Ah, I got rejected. Yeah, what I love about this orbit is that you can change like levels with it. You can do it here around the Mazda 2 piston, or then you can do it up here around the old school. There we go. There we go. There we go. Nope. Yeah, it's hard to like find a center point for this little orbity boy. And I'm also trying to not just like fly in a straight line. Like I'm trying to do it as an actual orbit. Oh god, that I don't know what that was. I don't know what it was. Ah! 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 There we go. I took my my ride cymbal stand out of here, so I should be able to shoot this. Yeah, I can shoot this gap a lot easier now. That's kind of nice. Listen to it. It's so funny to hear it in ground effects. It just has like a little bit of a warble to it. Let's try the impossible power loop.
30 seconds.
Oh god! That's my workbench. Where are you, little guy? He's inside the workbench. I got that all wrong. I didn't get nearly enough vertical height to clear the workbench. This is not the move to be doing at the end of the battery, but we're gonna try it again. Impossible power loop, engage. Oh, God damn you. Okay, one more time. I went the opposite way. I went a little too high on that one. One more time. Oh, God, no! I fucked it up on the approach. Worst time to be trying it. Oh, so close! One more. Impossible power loop! Oh, God! Where is it? Oh, it's behind. How did it get over there? It's behind the, Good Lord. How'd you get over there, little buddy? My God. All right. Let's leave it there. It's a good place to leave it, unless you guys want me to fly a little more. My thumbs are kind of hurt me, though. Bunch of batteries last night, and then, I don't know.
Telemetry lost.
To just get out of the shower, so my skin is all, like, wrinkly. Wrinkly? Let's get to work on some glide motors and whatnot, and we'll hang out and chat. I don't feel great. Oh! Chase Deerkis says, hit the gates. I hate hitting gates. I mean, I smash into the gates a lot, but I hate, like, hitting gates as in, like, racing. Racing is just not my thing at all. I really don't like it. I did the racing thing back in motorsport days, and I don't know if I burned it out or what, but, like, racing in FPV, I just don't enjoy at all. So yeah, like, hitting gates at speed is not something you'll ever see me do. I prefer to hit them upside down, backwards, in the middle of a roll, flipping in different directions, which looks cool. But yeah, so these gates are all up as, like, gaps, basically. It's just a bunch of gaps in here that I try to hit in the middle of power loops and Matty flips and shit like that. But yeah, you'll never see me, like, the closest you'll ever see me to hitting gates or, like, running gates or whatever is if Patrick and I are flying together and we make, like, a little racetrack, but then we're not racing. All we're doing is trying to get as close to each other as we're just defining a path so that we can get as close to each other as possible, because that's the fun. But, like, trying to go really fast, it's just infuriating to me. It really, like, it's not fun at all. It's just maddening and frustrating. Here's a quick little jibbly job from the gig last night, in case you're wondering. Where is this? Is this out front? I flew one battery out front. You can't even see anything in this. It was fucking so dark up on the stage. This is not a good one. They're not going to use that one. Maybe they'll use this one. Oh, this is flying out back. I don't know. To be honest, the footage is not that great because, like, it's a party that there's then it's really dark in there, and it's like a networking event. Like it's flying around at a networking event. I mean, the lighting's kind of cool, I guess, but it's still a networking event. It's a networking event for really cool people, but a networking event nonetheless. I'm not going to show you guys the footage. It's whatever. Here, look. Tinywhoop. Not Tinywhoop, Tinywhoop. Sub 250. GoPro. There you go. That's it. It's just a whole bunch of this. For the people that are here, this is fun because they can see themselves and there's famous people and whatever. But you know, for us, kind of is what it is. Know what I'm saying? I was giving that guy a ride along, which is super fun. Everybody loves it though. Yeah, like Karens are the only ones that don't like drones. I've figured out. People that don't like drones are like the worst people. You know what I mean? Like they're that's it. Like when someone gets pissed off about a drone, that person is the worst person. Always. They're just the garbage people. And so when you hang out with not garbage people, everybody loves drones and it's great. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend staying away from garbage people. Nimbus Blade says might need 4S, 3S 300 mAh sort of works. GepRC Tiny Go 4K. GepRC Tiny Go 4K. What the hell is that? Tiny Go. What's that little thing? Oh, a little starter rig. Okay. I have doubts that thing is going to take 4K, but you never know. What is that? What is that little guy? 85 millimeter? What the hell? No, that's 70. Although I think you said that you're changing the prop size. What are you cutting the ducts off or putting it in a different frame? Here's the thing. We need to look at the AIO to make sure it'll take more voltage. Specifications, that's just the camera specs. Frame, motor, 8-bit, MC. Oh, okay. So the ESC only has 12 amp FETs. That ain't gonna, you're not gonna be able to run that on 4S. I don't even think you're gonna be able to run it on 3S. Okay, yeah, so it is a 1.6 inch prop. Please, are you kidding me? You're not gonna give me the goddamn specs on the AIOs. GepRC, get your heads out of your asses. Is this real life? Anti-jamming? What? Come on. Come on. Don't lie. Yeah, I mean, oh, and it also depends on when you bought it. It looks like on December 16th of last year they changed the flight controller. Oy vey. Well, if you just bought it, let's see if we can find this flight controller somewhere else on the internet with some actual specs. No. Come on, get FPV. Are you kidding me? Is this it? Nope. Submit FPV. AIO. Yeah. I can't spend any more time on this. Sorry, brother. But you need to find that. You need to find this Tanker F411 8-bit 12 amp flight controller somewhere, and you need to confirm. There with all flight controllers and AIOs, there's a window. Not with flight controllers, with AIOs. There's a window of voltage that they will accept. If you give them more than that window, they will blow up immediately. So my hunch is that AIO, since it only has 12 amp FETs on the ESC, my hunch is that it's only a 1 to 2S AIO. I could totally be wrong, but you need to confirm that. If it won't take 3S and you plug 3S into it, it's on fire. Not actually on fire, but you know what I mean. So yeah, you need to find that spec somewhere. Even after you've found that spec, 12 amp is really low. Those are awful big motors for a 12 amp ESC. So yeah, you're going to be pushing the limits of what's possible. But the first thing you absolutely need to figure out is, will it take more than 2S? Will it take 3S? Will it take 4S? So yeah. Newbies Blade says, I get unstable lift and flight compared to stock motors. Yeah, I mean, that's because the motors that you've put on it are so low of a KV that they're not producing enough thrust to for the PID loop to properly stabilize the rig. So the Band-Aid is to crank the PID loop way up. The way to actually fix it is, so you can just do that by raising the master multiplier. If it's at 1.0, put it to 1.2, see how it is. Put it to 1.4, see how it is. Eventually, you'll raise it so high that when you arm it, the thing tries to fly away. You've gone too far. Go the other way. But yeah, that's a Band-Aid. The real way to fix it is to get a higher KV motor or get a higher voltage battery if the AIO will accept 3 or 4S. Bob Knox says, what's up, gangly gang? Nimbus Blade says, also the 1204 and batteries get hit? What should I do to correct this? I don't know what that means. I don't know what get hit means. Rob Oxison says, put some grip tape on the fan blades and try landing on them again. That would be too easy, Rob. The fan blade landing is a forever impossible trick that we'll work on, and then at some point I'll get it and it'll just feel great. Rob Oxison says, en fuego, thank you, brother. YouTube did the thing. Apache Smoke says, this week I put Quicksilver on my Fractal 65080 225,000 and it flies really good on it, in my opinion. Very cool. I've never really gone down the Quicksilver path because Betaflight does everything that I could ever ask and more. But some people love Quicksilver, and that's great. More options is better than less. Shane Ridge says, what would be your favorite freestyle Whoop AIO? Souped up on my Blade 6 with some Weebleed FPV motors and a Meteor frame. What does that do? Meteor frame, and then immediately blew out the Crazy Bee on the first pack, lol. Yeah, I mean, that is, if you got the Mobula 6 ELRS, that is my favorite AIO, and that is the AIO that has been way more durable than any other AIO I've ever run on a Tinywhoop. So that is absolutely my favorite. It's just the standard F4 ELRS, square in shape. I've had so many different AIOs fail sooner than those. All that being said, Happy Model sells the cheapest stuff, so their quality control is the worst. So it's a part of the game. There are now some other AIOs that are probably better quality, but they are significantly heavier. The T-Motor AIO and the Newbie Drone V4 AIO should be much higher quality, but they are so much heavier that I would rather have the Happy Mod. And the Happy Models have been incredibly durable for me. And I would rather deal with a little bit less durability for much better flight performance from the AIO being significantly lighter. So yeah, the AIO that you blew up is the good one. It's AIOs suck, like straight up. AIOs it's a terrible way of building a flight system. Mainly because you've got your gyro on the same ground plane as your ESCs. And yeah, it's just a bad way to do it. But with a Tinywhoop, it's kind of the only way to do it, because to have a separate ESC and flight controller would be way too heavy and it would be way too tall, and it just wouldn't work for the way that Tinywhoops are built. So we're kind of locked into AIOs on Tinywhoops, and it sucks. But if we want to fly around the house, got to pay to play. Weebleed says, I love FPV Whoops. Hello, all. CiottiFPV. Happy Sunday. Making sure to watch Whooptopia 2023 next week. I'm flying to Arizona on Wednesday. I'll do my best for a podium spot. I'll have the link on my site. Very cool. Get your asses over to Weebleed FPV, or else. Nimbus Blade says, props this. Yep, props the same flight controller is still 12 amp. It's garbage. I'm using it to test before Flywoo Goku 405 40 amp AIO. Gotcha. 40 amp AIO, to be honest, in that little build is overkill. A rig with those little tiny 1.6-inch props will never really need more than like 20 amps. But, I mean, what I was about to say is you can just use that AIO forever, but AIOs are bad. And AIOs tend to not survive a lot of crashes. So never, ever, ever think that an AIO is going to last more than like 6 months to a year, because typically they don't. So yeah, if there's a cheaper AIO that's only like a 30 amp or a 20 amp, save the money. Yeah. YouTube just did the thing again. God damn you, YouTube. Nimbus Blade says 3S is okay on original flight controller. Thanks. There you go. Run 3S. Raven 187 says, although if you were running that rig on 2S on those 10,000 kV motors, and then you go up to 3S on those 5,000 kV motors, the motors are still only equivalent to 7,500 kV. So you're still going to be leaving a bunch of RPM on the table. And you still might have flight problems. You would need to go, if you were on 2S, you would need to go up to 4S in order for the fact that you halved the KV to equalize. Raven187 says, I started working for a car dealership company, 24 brands, 30 dealerships, including McLaren, Audi, Ferrari, talking to marketing about FPV. Very cool, Raven. That's rad. Jay says, Fat Shark got back to me. We're able to repair both my HD3s and Attitude V3s. Should get this week, maybe. There you go. Fat Shark will fix yo shit. They are an amazing company. It's going to take a little bit of time, but they will fix your stuff. PJ says the Happy Model Flight controller is called the 2G4. Okay. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just called, like, I don't know what it's called. I thought it was called Crazy Bee or something. Whatever. It's the F4 ELRS. That's how I always know about it. That's how I always know it. 2G4. I won't remember that. Abraham says it's annoying they didn't post the specs, but from a company like HDLRC, if the AIO is 3S or 4S capable, I'd expect that stat to be in the name. That's true. From a company like HDLRC, if an AIO was rated for 3 or 4S, I wouldn't run it on more than 2S, though, because HDLRC stuff catches on fire too often. Jason Black says, what do you think of JHE MCUs, ESCs, and flight controllers, and which manufacturers to stay away from? For me, Jason, I mean, it depends on what we're talking about here. Are we talking about micros or 5-inch rigs? For 5-inch rigs, I recommend you stay away from all manufacturers other than T-Motor and Acon. Those are the only two manufacturers, and the reason that I say T-Motor is because Acon makes T-Motor stuff. They're high-end stuff. The cheaper T-Motor stuff is not made by Acon, and it does not hold up. I have not found with 5-inch rigs anybody, including Hobbywing, to make quality components that actually survive any meaningful amount of time, other than Acon and T-Motor, because they're made by Acon. With micros, it's all over the goddamn place, unfortunately. The biggest problem with micros is that, like I found this Speedix GS25 ESC that was really good, and then they discontinued it. And then I found this other one, and it was really good, and then they discontinued it. Like, with micro stuff, you can kind of just close your eyes and point for the most part. HDLRC seems to always be bad. The really, really, really cheap stuff seems to always be bad. And then, like, the middle price stuff, like, it's just rolling the dice. Like, none of their quality control is good enough for us to gain any meaningful amount of, like, data. Like, Beta FPV seems to be really bad, but we have to remember that they're very popular, so they sell a lot of stuff, so then we see a lot of bad reviews because they've sold a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's really, really, really tough. I do not have any recommendations of currently made microelectronics, because everything that's currently made and currently sold, I have not tried, because I don't fly micros often enough, and the gear that I have in mind has not blown up recently enough for me to try any of the new stuff. So, like, I hate that. None of these companies send me anything to test, so, and I can't really afford to buy all the new things that come out, so I'm sort of just stuck. But yeah, stay away from the cheapest of the cheap, like Racer Star and stuff like that. Stuff that, like, you look at the price and you're like, whoa, hold on. Like, that's your brain. That's the smart part of your brain going like, stop. And then the cheap bastard part of your brain is like, well, how bad could it be? No. No, no, no. When you think how bad could it be, no. No. Put your head down on the desk. Put your big head down on the desk. You listen to that part of your brain that goes, what? Hold up. What? Wait. What? That seems a little too cheap for what that should be. What? Hold up. Gangly Gang stickers are available. PayPal me $5 for one, $10 for two. If you buy two, I'll give you a misprint, never to be reproduced, fully holographic CiottiFPV sticker. Who can say no to that? CiottiFPV.com, there's a PayPal button. Put your address in the PayPal and say, yo, I want Gangly Gang stickers. Even if you're not in the Gangly Gang, to officially join the Gangly Gang, you have to join my Patreon for 10 whole cents a day. Even if you're not in the Gangly Gang, though, I won't know it. I'm not checking. So you can beat the system. You know you want to beat the system. Send me your money and you'll beat the system. Sticker packs are also available, but there's only 2 left. There's only 2 left. 2 sticker packs are left. For $10 via PayPal with your address, you're going to get a Micro King sticker. You're going to get a CiottiFPV magnet. You're going to get the rare holographic misprint. And you're going to get a regular old matte CiottiFPV sticker. 4 stickers for $10? How's he doing it? Even I don't know the answer to that. 2 of these sticker packs are left. You know you want one of them. Help me keep doing this full time, yo. Buy yourself something nice. Help me help you. That doesn't make sense in this case. Help me by buying yourself something nice. I already said that. What time is it? 4:18? Gotta get to work over here. 2 sticker packs are available. Good God, that's not many. That's not enough. I'm in the mood for a hot dog. Anybody got a hot dog they can send to me through the chat? It's a great question, Jason Black. I wish I had... the original question, JHEMCU, they are not the worst. They are certainly not the best. Close your eyes and point. I've had good experiences with JHEMCU. I've had bad experiences with JHEMCU. So they're somewhere in the middle. It's... My God, is it frustrating. Down in the descriptions of all my live streams and videos and whatnot, there is a section with links to gear that I personally run. Most of them are old products that are discontinued, unfortunately. I don't... I can't test all the new stuff. These manufacturers, they discontinue products way too quickly. It's like 6 months. And for me, like, I don't play this game that a lot of reviewers play where they get the hot new product and they fly 2 batteries on it, or they don't fly them at all, and then they make a video saying, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever! It's got 84 UARTs. You're going to be able to hook up 83 GPSs. Oh, buy it now or I'll fucking stab your whole family. I don't play that game. Homie, don't play that. If I get a new product, I might like show it to you guys, but then I'll say like, hey, maybe this is awful. I've got to do a build with it and pound on it for 6 months, and then I'll get back to you. It takes me forever to do the build, and then Like, legitimately, I don't want to talk about if a product is good or not until I've put at least 100 batteries through it. Because if something fails within 100 batteries, I'm fucking pissed, yo. Like, that's bullshit. 100 batteries is not that much. So, yeah, like, by the time I get around to talking about something, it's been discontinued, and it's just maddening. So, yeah, I don't know. I wish I had time to fly more. I wish there were, like, 80 hours in every day. That would be dope. CH3 says, I had a Diamond F4 VTX failure I can show you from the DVR. I did just 6 batteries on it. I mean, you got 6 more batteries than I did, CH3. My Diamond was bad right out of the box. The Diamond AIOs they seem to be the worst. I highly recommend that you guys stay the hell away from them. Yeah, I've had 0 luck with them. I've had 2 of them now, and they were both just shit right out of the box. And I've heard so many people in chat tell that exact same story, CH3. It's too small. They seem to have sacrificed capacitors to clean up the electrical system in favor of shrinking it down. And the other problem is that not connecting that front mounting point creates havoc with different vibrational frequencies, different vibrational nodes or modes, whatever the fuck they're called. So yeah, it's just bad all around. The Diamond AIOs are awful. Jason Black says, whoop to 3-inch. What's that mean? Oh. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, my rant is perfectly. So I didn't talk about whoops though. With whoops, well, we talk about that all the time. Happy model stuff is the best performing, but the quality control is not all that great. It's not the worst though. T-Motor and Newbie Drone should be better. They're brand new though, so we don't really know. With whoops, it's happy model because they perform better, and the extra performance is worth having to replace them more frequently, or maybe at the same frequency. AIOs are all bad, so maybe the new T-Motor AIO and the new Newbie Drone AIO are no better. They very well might not be. Abraham says, for what it's worth, the new beta FPV AIO with the serial ELRS RX has been solid for me and a handful of local deadlock pilots. Well, that's pretty cool. I think that AIO does not have a VTX on it, though, right? And I'm not willing to put an external VTX on Tinywhoops. So for me, it's the happy model for sure. Jason Black says, thanks, man. You're certainly welcome. Rob Axelson says, I'm in for some stickers. Very cool. We Bleed FPV says, I'm sending you out some brand new bleeders, V3 26500, Gore V3 28500, version 3, How has the V2 not arrived? But wait, what? The V3 has arrived, but the V2 hasn't arrived? That's funny. V3 was designed by the new 0702 motor factory. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. I can't explain that to you guys, but that makes sense. Very cool, Zotek. That's very cool of you. Zotek, hey, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do with these other set of prototype 0802 21,500s? Do you want me to throw these away, or do you want me to give these away? If you want me to give these away, let's do that right now. Since Weebleed is in the chat, let's do a giveaway for these prototype motors, if he's cool with that. He sent me 8 of these prototype low KV 0802s, which I'm really glad he did. I hope that I provided some. They were very durable, and they had incredible throttle resolution. They're not my deal. Like, I like higher powered motors for freestyle, but for racing, these are probably amazing. And they kind of opened my eyes to how much throttle resolution I'm sacrificing by going with all these high KV motors. But yeah, these are perfectly good. I flew 20 batteries through them, and they held up brilliantly. Really, really durable. And they're really good looking. They got I mean, you would never know that these are prototypes, other than the fact that I don't think they have the KV written on them, do they? Oh my god, they do. This is a hell of a prototype. This is like a production motor. Yeah, we can do a giveaway with these, like, right now. That'll be fun. 84 UARTs, indeed, off axis. Rob Oxison says, that is why I stopped watching. Everything was, this is the best, that is the best. I'm not going to touch that because he's been hanging out in Joshua's chat and he had nice things to say about me, so I'm not going to, I'm not going to shit on anybody that says nice things about me. That's not cool. You guys are entitled to have your own opinion. But yeah, he seems like a nice guy. I don't know. I will leave it there. Cortez Campbell says, my Cetus X is by Beta FPV. Should I have bought something else? Not at all, Cortez. Beta FPV makes really good stuff, but Beta FPV makes a ton of stuff, and they sell a ton of stuff. So Facebook is filled with people bitching and moaning about Beta FPV stuff blowing up. Yeah. Do they make the best stuff out there? No. But if you've got a Cetus X, that's like a beginner rig, and as a beginner, you kind of don't want to buy the best stuff, right? Like when your kid turns 17, you don't buy him a Mercedes-Benz because like he's going to destroy it, but also they're going to never appreciate any other car ever. You give him a fucking Yugo or any other car that's falling apart. And then they can finish it off, and they can have respect for cars. So you're doing things right, Cortez. You're good. I enjoyed building drones more than Bind to Fly. What would be a good build? I mean, that is what my Fiverr build planning service is for, Cortez, to be honest. Like just the blanket question, what would be a good build? Anybody that answers, if you ask that question to someone and they just start answering, don't listen to a goddamn word that they say, because they either don't care or they don't know enough to know that answering that open-ended of a question is impossible. Like, so that would be like you going to a car dealership and saying like, hey, what's a good car here? That salesperson is going to sell you the car that they make the most commission on, rather than a car that makes any sense for you. So you're going to walk out of there in a fucking Maybach, and maybe you don't have the budget for a Maybach, or maybe you don't, any number of reasons that's the complete wrong. Maybach is like a fancy version of a Mercedes-Benz for any non-car weebs. They're like infinitely expensive for kind of no reason. Like you pay like $100,000 for the badge on the hood. It's a fucking Mercedes-Benz with like, instead of rosewood, they'll put like, I don't know, a more rare form of wood on the interior. It's just silly. So yeah, the question like what would be a good build is just infinitely open-ended. I spend a half an hour to an hour with folks that have that question, asking them questions. I have a list of like 20 some odd questions. Where do you fly? How often do you fly? What camera are you carrying? Like, what's the payload? What are you doing with the footage? Who are your favorite pilots? There's this big list of questions that I need to ask you to get the proper like info from you to then suggest out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different options that there are, the right motors, the right propellers, the right frame, the right prop size, the right ESC amp rating, the right batteries, the like all these different things. So yeah, and what's cool about doing that with me is that I have spent at least thousands, probably tens of thousands of dollars over the last 6 years buying all of the garbage electronics and really figuring out which ones catch on fire, which ones don't. And I offer that information here on the live streams like piecemeal as I get the questions. But if you want all of that information all at once, yeah, that's what I do on Fiverr as like a one-on-one service. So yeah, I'd love to work with you, but I know that it seems crazy to spend, I don't know what it is, and it might be $30 for a half an hour, it might be $40 for a half an hour, and then either 60 or 80 for an hour. I know that seems like a lot of money, but again, I have wasted minimum thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars going down that road alone. It's a fun. Some people might find it to be a fun journey. I found it to be frustrating, and it's a lot of money. But yeah, if you want to go down that path for yourself, Godspeed. It's a bit much. And along that path, there will probably be a bunch of different occasions that you want to quit FPV. And I hate that. I hate that. I was lucky enough to have somebody to kind of keep me in it. And like the two of us one of us would quit and the other one would talk them back into it. And then the other one would quit and then I would talk them back into it. And then we would bounce back and forth like that for months and years. But yeah, it's a tough journey. Bob Bruce says, check your PayPal. What's up, email? What do you got for me? Rob Axelson with a $10 PayPal. Thank you, brother. He says stickers. Rob Axelson's getting some stickers. I'm going to write that down right now. Bob Bruce, hang on. You're next. Rob Axelson is getting 2 Gangly Gang stickers and the ultra rare CiottiFPV misprint. This might be... Well, wait, Rob, what stickers do you want? Do you want the sticker pack or do you want 2 Gangly Gangs? I gotta wait. I gotta wait on that. Ooh, somebody did an order on Weebly. Thank you for remembering to use my affiliate link. Hey, baby, what are you doing?
Hey, honey.
What you doing?
Just got home.
What?
What?
Where'd you go?
We went, Felix and I went to Target
I want to go.
and Home Depot. Home Depot does not carry fireplace grates. I'm sure you're thrilled.
Ace Hardware it is. Maggie and I have been, not fighting. Fighting is absolutely not the word, but I don't like fireplaces, and she loves them.
Tell them wood
So-
burning, because that's not going to make sense. Like, wood burning.
I mean, I don't like any fireplaces. They're all a pain in the ass to me. I would prefer a slab of cement there.
You're nuts.
But yeah, she like loves them, and
I like the wood burning ones.
she likes the wood burning ones. She likes all fireplaces, but she really likes the wood burning ones. And burning wood fucks my allergies in the butt. So yeah, I gave it in because, you know, it's her and she's the best and I'll do anything for her.
Well,
But I at least
they don't
make sure
have
I get some
context.
jabs in here and there.
We recently found out that our upstairs fireplace is wood burning.
Yeah.
And that made me happy, but Aaron very sad. And so now we need...
And the fireplace guy ruined my fucking carpet down here, and I'm really like, it's really bothering me. It's really, really, really bothering me. There's like all these ash spots down here, and Maggie thinks we can get them out, but I've dealt with the ash thing before, and I've never been able to get it out of carpet. So I'm like, yeah, I'm pissed. The carpet, I'll be paying the carpet off down here for like another year still. And like, I've been very careful, and like any number of situations could have happened to spill shit on this carpet up until this point, but through being careful, I've managed to keep it like absolutely pristine. And now it looks like an absolute shit heap in front of the fireplace, and I have trouble letting shit go as it is, and I'm just like, God damn it, Larry. But whatever, I don't know. I just keep telling myself that like this, like, it was gonna get fucked up eventually anyway, so this just gets that out of the way, and now I can just not care and just spill shit everywhere, and it'll just look like a brothel down here. Weedlead says gift them. We're gonna do a giveaway with these low KV 21,500 KV 0802s. Where are the racers at? Only if you want to do mega throttle resolution 0802 racing, those are the people that I want to win these. Don't just win these because you want another set of motors. Because these are prototypes. and I want someone to give meaningful feedback to We Bleed FPV about these. That's kind of the point. If that's you, type me in the chat right now. Capital M, capital E. I'm going to give you guys a minute to do that. I'm going to get caught up on chat. Rob Oxison says, Diamond AIO without a receiver is better. I've crashed the crap out of mine. That's interesting. That makes sense. Without the receiver on board, they'll have extra room for more capacitors. That's pretty cool. But I mean, I guess the point of the Diamond is to be as light as possible. And then if you're going to add an external receiver, then it's not as light as possible anymore. Michael D says, I think it's just a problem with the ELRS Diamond boards. You know, I think you're right. I don't remember there being issues with the non-ELRS Diamond boards, although not having that connection point in the front definitely creates additional vibration frequencies, which is going to force you to run more filtering. So I still don't like them. I still don't like the Dymos. Timbo Slice is in the house. He says, hello, sir, and everybody. We Bleed FPV says, wait, how does drone camps have 185,000? Holy fuck. We Bleed says, I want to know this. To be honest, it's a brand new name for me. Super sus. Jesus, that's a lot. Good for him. Good God. Wow. The power of reviewing products right there. Jesus. Zeph D says, what is the best prop removal tool? It is the Weeha chip lifter. Where the hell is it? Here it is. The Weeha chip lifter is the best prop removal tool. Oh, you filthy whore. There it is over there. Now this one's not going to want to... Alright, I'm going to type it into chat. You can find it on Amazon by typing in Weeha 268 space 10 chip lifter. It's got a little slot on it that is exactly 1 millimeter. And then it's got this curve to it, and it's nice and strong and thick. And yeah, this is the best way to remove Tinywhoop propellers without destroying the motor shafts. Although you can still destroy the motor shafts if the prop is really on there. There's not much you can do about that. Bob Noxious says, what motors are you putting on those glides? They look like the flow motors I won from you last year. They are 2306.5 newbie drone flow motors. The reason I'm doing that on these glides is that these are built to be slammed. I want you guys to beat the hell out of these glides. So I picked a motor that's the best value and durability. These newbie drone flow motors are an unbelievable value for having a titanium motor shaft. They are the cheapest titanium motor shaft 2306. And yeah, these are not... Yeah, I want you guys to beat the hell out of these glide builds. So I put a motor on them. I kind of wanted to do the T-Motor F40 Pro 4s because those are the motors that I fly. But I'm signing you guys up at that point to a $26 per motor. I would rather sign you up for a less expensive motor and encourage you to beat these things to death. I was afraid that with the expensive motors, it would be a wall queen or something like that, and that's not what I want. I want to see these 3 rigs dirty and disgusting and on fire. Rob Axelson says, gangly gang, awesome. All right, Rob. Thank you, brother. Come on, Sharpie, don't be a jerk. All right, Rob is getting a couple of Gangly Gang stickers and the holographic CiottiFPV ding dong. What's up, ding dongs? This might be the last of these misprint stickers. Might not be, but it might be. Wait. Christopher King, $5 patron. That's all I've got in my email, though. Didn't somebody say PayPal? Bob Bruce said, check your PayPal. Bob, I don't have a, maybe they just didn't send me the email. Hang on. Let me make sure I'm not showing this on stream. Every once in a while that happens. Oh, stop with the pop-ups, jerks. I don't see it on, I don't think it went through, my guy. Thank you for the thought, though. It's the thought that counts, right? PayPal, take me to the goddamn summer, you jackass. Jackass! Yeah, okay, it's not working. Yeah, check to make sure it didn't go to some other CiottiFPV. Robert, we got that? CH3 says fireplaces are a good spot to charge batteries and keep them charged hassle-free. I have a huge one in my house. Yeah, that's the only thing I like about the fireplace down here is the stone pad on the bottom, which is where I have my charging station set up now. So yeah, in that way it is kind of nice. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not a fireplace kind of guy. I love that Maggie is. I love that Maggie is. I really do. But it's just not for me. All right. You guys are... All right, I got a bunch. So I'm going to put you guys on PokeFPV's wheel. There it is. raffle.pokefpv.com. And somebody's going to win. Not me. Bastard. All right. So let's do this. And then, oh, really? All right, hold on. Rabble. I can barely read it when it's highlighted. All right, so we got Rabble, we got Erie, we've got Ohm says not me, we got Athix, we've got Momo, Athix again, trying to get me, Athix again, Abraham with a question mark. I'm gonna put you on here, Aber. Chase and Zeph. Ah, shit. And Erie, I think I already got you. I already got you. And don't talk smack, guys. Don't talk smack. Don't talk smack. No reason for that. I will not read comments talking junk rather. Kevin Summer says, why isn't the chip lifter in your video description links? I have no idea, dude. It's funny. I just had that same thought. I was like, what am I doing? And I guess you guys can talk shit. Do whatever you want. All right. It looks like those are the people that are interested in the motors. We're going to submit. We're going to... Yeah, fuck it. Leave it alone. Here we go. Somebody's going to win these. Shout out to WeBleedFPV for sending over a bunch of prototype motors for me to test and then to give away. Are you going to blow any of them away? Little quad. There we go. It's blowing them away. Zeph is still here. Chase is still... It's Zephyr Chase. Zephyr Chase. It's Zeph. Congratulations, brother. Zeph, you need to do all the work here. You need to message me somewhere. CiottiFPV.com has all my contact info, my email, Instagram, here on YouTube, Facebook, whatever. You need to message me somewhere. You need to say, yo, it's me, Zeph. I won the WeBleed prototype motors. Please send them to me at so-and-so address. And yeah, if you have $4, I would love for you to cover shipping. If not, it's okay. So if you want to cover shipping, go to CiottiFPV.com, click the PayPal button, PayPal me $4, PayPal me however much you want, with your address, and say, yo, it's me, Zeph. Or if you don't want to pay for the shipping because I didn't tell you beforehand, it's totally fine. Message me somewhere and say, I won them, here's my address, please send them to me. Hopefully the one that I just spiked down onto the ground did not get onto the desk, did not get mangled. I'm sure it didn't. These motors are really tough. I gotta give it up. Abe Farhat with a $20 PayPal. He says, couple of Gangly Gang stickers and a sticker pack, please. Look at you go. Thank you so much, Abraham. There's only one sticker pack left. I can't stress the importance I don't know. I'm just gonna write Abe on here as a reminder. And I'm gonna put this over in my shipping section. The part of my floor that I pile all the shit that needs to get shipped up. And, yeah. You got it, my friend. Thank you, brother. Oh, it flipped over. Wait, no. I can put it over here. Don't I have something else that needs to get shipped over here? Oh, here it is right in front of me. Alright, I got it. And then we've got a PayPal from Bob Bruce. There it is. Sticker pack and gangly. And then there's his address, which I almost just automatically read. Thank you, brother. Sticker pack. So the sticker packs are all gone. I can't stress the importance of the sticker packs being all gone. I don't know what I'm saying. Sticker pack and gangly. There it is. Sticker packs are gone forever. Thank you, brother. Hang on. All right, cool. All right, I got that. I got that. All is right with the world. Abraham sent me a text message. I'm not going to read it. Or should I? All right, hold on. It's 4:47. What's happening? Let me get caught up with chat real quick. Real quick. Michael D says, the only one for me is you, and you for me, no matter how they test the dice, it has to be. What the hell song is that from? Kevin Sumner said, no, we got that. Bob Bruce says, don't forget the PayPal. I love tangents, though. Thank you, dude. Thanks again, brother. Thanks to all you guys. Michael D says, you should change your Amazon affiliate link to the chip lifter. I really should. It's the nut grabber, and I really love it being... I'm going to do it right now. If I don't do it right now, I'm not going to do it. You guys ever wonder how to do the affiliate link thing? Look how easy this is. Weehaw. Chip lifter. There it is. Oh, look at these other ones. An ESD safe one. Oh, shitters. This is the cheapest one, though. There's a thing up here that when you log in, it's just there. There it is. Isn't that fascinating? And then I can come up here, and here's my description. And then we've got, where's the nut grabber? There's the nut grabber. Oh no, wait, yeah, my affiliate link. What's that, a link tree? No. Oh, fart. Hold on. Here, I'm gonna add it into here though. It's absolutely insane that it's not in here. Oh, it is in here. Look at me go. I'm a smart person. It is in here. Tinywhoop prop remover. Look at me go. All right. I mean, that's a good question. What should the Amazon affiliate link be? A chip lifter or a nut grabber? The chip lifter is only for Tinywhoops. The nut grabber is for everything. Now, I mean, the nut grabber is for M3 and M4 nylock nuts. That's good. That's an interesting... It's a real conundrum. I think I'm actually going to leave it nut grabber. I think I'm going to leave it the grabber of nuts. I should make it like something that costs $1,000, and then maybe somebody will like accidentally hit add to cart. Man, I've purchased 2 nut grabbers. That's how much. I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I was about to say. Yeah, because like the nut grabber, like if you click my Amazon affiliate link and it goes to the chip lifter, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is that thing? But instead, if it goes to a 5-prong jeweler's pickup tool, you're gonna be like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. I want to pick stuff up. You know? I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's in there. It's in the description. That's what matters. Who just bought something on Weebleed? What'd you buy? I'm jealous. I want to buy something on Weebleed. Although, my God, Zotac hooks me up so much that, like, there's nothing left for me to grab. He just sends me everything. He's such a big supporter. FamG says, oh, I know we got 2 stick end balls. What? Zefd says, thanks. You're certainly welcome. Makana Studio says, silly me, but Weehaw sounded like too much like G Hall Wimmy Diddle. Notice stick with propeller that spins when you run a stick over it. Oh, yeah. This is down south shit there. Abraham says, PayPal, thanks, homie. Thank you, Aber. YouTube did the thing. Where was I? What the hell's happening? Where did it? Oh, I got it. Scrolled me really far down. Bulldog FPV says, don't forget me. I think I had you on there, Bulldog. I hope I did. If I didn't, I'm sorry, brother. I was kind of fast and loose. I didn't see a me from you. I still don't see a me for you. Oh, God damn it. You typed me and then a bunch of other letters. I was just looking for the little short me. That'll teach you to not follow directions. Ever meet a parent like that? Oof. That's rough. It's gotta be tough to be a kid with a parent like that. That's tough, man. Sorry, brother. That's all I can do is say I'm sorry. Trying to find my place again. Abraham says, I was just buying stickers, not entering a raffle. That's okay, you were on there anyway. Stavel FPV with a me. Oh, look at all these me's that I missed. God damn it. Sorry, guys. Next time I'll scroll farther and look a little bit closer. Zefd says, thanks, you're certainly welcome. FamD says, Clanman copyright, you still got Clanman stickers. I do have Clanman stickers. The Clanman stickers are safe because they're a custom graphic design. But yeah, I can't play Clanman anymore, unfortunately. Michael D says, song pops in my head was you said, when you said say me for the motor giveaway. Supposed to be my entry, but no worries. I forgot all you guys. Jesus, sorry. Brandon's Baked Bean says, okay, I'm back. Found my neighbor in my backyard. Apparently our collective fence fell down and I had to pause to go help him shore it up till better weather for permanent repairs. That sucks. Brandon's Baked Beans loves his nut grabber. It is a really great little tool to have. It comes in more handy than just for FPV stuff. Kevin Summer says, do you get affiliate commission on Amazon Smile orders? I don't know. That's a really good question. My guess is no. I bet you Amazon Smile is basically a fancy affiliate thing. Rock Crawler says, hey, do you or anyone know a good way to take off Tiny Hawk 3 props without cutting them or pulling it apart? The the chip lifter is the best. But man, even the chip lifter will not save a motor shaft if the prop is on there hard enough. It sucks, man. It really sucks. The prop manufacturers play a really difficult game of making the propellers tight enough that they'll stay on, but loose enough that they won't. One of the hardest parts about this job is talking about the tightness of Tinywhoop propellers without just making constant dick jokes. And I'm not very good at it. Because, like, I try to not make the same dick jokes more than, like, 2 or 3 times. So, like, after I've made the jokes a couple times, like they get like much worse in my head, and and then it's like, no, don't say that. No, don't say that. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Nope, don't say that either. Don't say that. Don't say that. So yeah. lately I'll just like pause and I just won't say anything. So yeah. It's a dangerous game, my friends. It's the most dangerous of games. You know? You gotta stay strong, but oh my god. AKA with a $10 super chat for the non-stop constant dick jokes. Thank you, AKA. Oh boy. It's tough, man. It's a tough one. That's what she said. Bulldog FPV says, all good. CiottiFPV was driving and didn't know if they went through it. Thank you for the generosity, Bulldog, and AK, and all you other beautiful bastards. Yeah, Rockcrawler, you're in a shitty situation. The safest possible way to remove a propeller is to grab the motor with 2 fingers and then grab the propeller with 2 fingers and twist it while you pull it off. But man, when they're on there, that just doesn't work. What can help you get a grip on the motor bell is this like drawer shit. I don't know. Drawer liner, I guess it's called. This stuff is awesome. You wrap it around the motor and then you pinch, and then it'll give you a little bit better grip on the motor. Usually it works better when the motor is on the frame, because you can like brace your fingers against the frame. But sometimes it doesn't. Chip lifter's good, but if they're really on there, it's gonna bend the motor shaft. Oh Jesus. Bob Bruce says, got it figured out on PayPal. Apparently I just stopped sending it before I was done. LOL. FamG says, Darren's too. They threw rocks at my drone. What? Oh, Darren, right? A male version of Karen. Yeah, people that don't like drones are awful human beings, and you should beat them with a metal folding chair if given the opportunity. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do it. You won't, bitch. Michael D says, put your forefinger and thumb from one hand on the top, slightly pushing on the props to rotate the prop to the other hand. Tiny Hawk props just pop off, tagging to CiottiFPV. Rotating the prop is the key, because if you can get the propeller to rotate on the motor shaft, it'll break that like grip that it's got. So yeah, getting the propeller spinning on the motor shaft. The problem is sometimes the propellers will go on so hard that when you spin the prop on the motor, you'll actually spin the shaft in the motor bell. The real answer is to not put, if you're putting a propeller onto a Tinywhoop motor and you say to yourself, oh, that's a little too tight. It's probably already too late, but like, don't put that propeller on there. Like, if you have to really muscle a propeller onto a Tinywhoop motor, that fucker ain't coming off. So don't do that. Like, as you're putting a propeller onto a Tinywhoop motor, like, you should have to give it some force, but if you have to start, like, if you start making faces and you start having to, like, actually use your muscles, stop! You're about to ruin a motor that's way more expensive than a propeller. Yeah, don't do it. Get a different propeller. The Gemfan biblades, you will not have to do that with. Here's the other thing that I remembered with the Gemfan tri-blades that I pulled off of Patrick's Gore motors. You always want to make sure that you put your Tinywhoop propellers all the way down on the motor shaft to the point where the motor shaft will peek out the top of the propeller. Most Tinywhoop propellers, I think it's all Tinywhoop propellers other than the biblades, and some of the biblades are even like this. at the very top of the opening, they will go from 1 millimeter down. And so the thinking, I believe, was that you can push the propeller all the way down, and then that little part where it necks in will like kind of secure it and make sure that it tightens up on there so it doesn't come off. Well, no. Take your finely tipped tweezers that you need to have and put them in the top of your Tinywhoop propellers and open the top up. Just put it in there and push together and spin. And you want to mushroom out the top of the opening. One of the main reasons I don't like HQ Tinywhoop props is that they close the top of the propeller off. That's terrible because the motor shafts are not all that strong anyway. So you need to get the propeller all the way down. If it's sitting up on the shaft, it's a longer lever and it's going to bend the shit out of the motor shaft. So you really, for durability, you need to make sure that the prop gets all the way down on the motor shaft. And yeah, you gotta like open up the top of the prop a little bit. Cool. I forgot about that trick. I used to talk about that trick a lot. And like, I don't want to beat a dead horse, so I don't like talk about the same thing every single live stream because a lot of people watch all these live streams and they're gonna get sick of hearing the same thing over and over again. So yeah. Super chat's coming in hot. Thank you, people. Hold on. Technique says you're right. Your collective is definitely watching out for everybody in the hobby. We have the best group of people on Earth here, for the record. I don't know what I did to deserve this. I mean, I just kept doing what I'm doing, so. Rock Crawler says, Michael D. and CiottiFPV, thanks, certainly welcome. Bob Noxious with a $25 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. He says, I can't believe no one has thrown anything to your health. Brother. End of February. Keep the last Saturday open. Love you. End of February. Keep the Bob, shoot me the date, because I need to put that on my calendar. Yeah, we do have the Medicine Man Cometh Fund. I don't really talk about it, so I'm not surprised. But thank you, brother. Very cool of you. The Medicine Man Cometh Fund is basically like the health insurance fund. When I don't have another like piece of gear that I'm all excited about, I'll just put it into this, and then I mean, yeah, most of the donations just go into like bills and just living and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys. I ain't driving no Ferrari up in here. Technique with a $2 super chat. He says, for the collective. Thank you so much, homie. Rob Axelson says, touch the tip of the shaft with a soldering iron. Motor shaft? Why? What'll that do? Never touch your tip with a soldering iron. I can tell you that from personal experience. No, I can't. FamG with a $2 super chat. He says, for the Gangly Gang crew to have some lunch with. Thank you, homie. Bob Noxious says, I will definitely send that date to you, brother. Awesome. Stavel FPV with a $10 super chat. He says, here's to Home Depot trips and bench shafts. Thank you, brother. Yeah, if you want your super chat to get added to this, you have to do what Bob Noxious did and like specifically call it out. Like, yo, this is for that. It all goes to the same place. But if you want to see this number go up, that's what you have to do. Them's the rules. Over on PayPal, Justin Lance sent a $20 PayPal. He says, thanks for the tips in chat. Thank you for supporting my ability to provide you with the tips and the chat. And then $9.99 from Andrew Smith, a little gifty thing. Ship the motors to, oh, very cool. Thank you, Zeft. Zeft covered shipping and then some for the motors and sent me his address. That's the weirdest spelled city. The city is Arverne, and it just looks like it's misspelled. Arverne. Here, look at this. Look at this word. Tell me it doesn't look misspelled. Tell me that doesn't look like it's a misspelled word. I was about to say like, yo, you misspelled that word, but no, it's a city name. They can put the letters wherever they want in city names. Thank you, brother. Address. Rob. Okay, cool. Let's do some work over on the bench now that I'm finally, remember like two actual hours ago when I was like, all right, let me just real quick get caught up on chat. I'm gonna show you guys the same tip that I did last time because I'm hungry as hell, and I don't feel good. I don't know what the hell happened. Like, I don't know. I don't feel good today. But this is a cool little tip that could save you a little bit of time. How's this webcam looking? Is it looking good or is it looking like ass today? It's looking like ass today. I don't know what to do about this. I love the idea of having this little secondary Logitech camera over here that I can use to show you guys really fine details because its macro focus is like really good. But for some reason, when you have two webcams plugged into USB, weird shit happens. And the weird shit that's happening is that this main camera, it does not... the quality looks like ass. And let me show you what I mean. The secondary cam is plugged in right now. I'm going to unplug it. And I'm going to open up... well, Logitech G Hub is already opened. But I'm just going to like click through. And... oh god, Logitech G Hub is just the worst fuck... I don't know. Why the hell did that happen? What is that about? What are you doing? Hold on. Watch this. Change that. Oh, now it's gonna make an ass out of me. Hold on, let me quit out of... I don't know. It's just all jacked up, man. It's all jacked up. Let me make sure though. Yeah, see it? Did you see it? Now it's all nice and clean. I don't understand. And like now if I re-plug in that little camera, like it'll be fine until it's not. It's very random. It's very, very, very random. Maybe, but I think I'm starting to see a pattern. I think the pattern is that when I launch, like if I stream and then I stop streaming, close OBS, relaunch OBS, it looks like ass. But when I'm in the process of streaming and I open Logitech G Hub, it's fine. I can have both. I think I have to quit out of Logitech G Hub every stream, and then every time I stream, I have to relaunch it. So I guess I'll try that. I guess I'll leave. There's already like a dozen different specific processes that I have to do before every single live stream to get it to work. What's one more? All right, here's a little tip. Measure up. As long as you have a frame that's not dead cat, as long as you have a frame where the front arms are the same length as the rear arms. Take your little build, and in my case, on these builds, I'm using arm LED race wires. Put your arm LED race wire exactly where you want it. Bolt your motor down. Bolt one motor down. Move it over here so you guys can see it. Put at least 2 bolts in the motor so it's in the exact right position. Then, I'll show you on one that's not been cut yet. Then put your arm LED exactly where you want it. And with the race wires and the arm LEDs, you don't want them down here. You want them in close to the body because you've got a 5-inch prop and the tip of the prop is going to bend down, and you want your prop strikes to happen on the race wires or the race LEDs. You don't want to butt it up against here because you're going to have some wires coming out of it. So just give it a little bit of a gap. Let me get the glare out of here. So give yourself a little bit of a gap between the base plate and the arm LED, right? So give yourself a little bit of a gap, bolt your motor down, and then you're going to line up your wires and you're going to cut one motor with the exact right length of wires, all right? And then you're going to use that motor to cut the rest of them. And let me show you what I mean. Well, not what I mean, but let me show you how I do it. So you can get this out of here. I'm building 3 of these rigs, so I'm trying to, you know, batch some shit out. Even if you're just building one rig, though, this is a great way. The other thing that's nice about this is this this allows you to move your motors around if you ever need them to, and the race wires will all be in the exact same spot. So you take your 2 motors, you hold them butt to butt, base to base, and then you can just kind of wrap your fingers around it like this so that you can feel that you're holding the bells together, and then your thumb and pinky are gonna pinch the motor wires there so that you're holding them, and then you just kind of look and just make sure that the stator bases are as lined up as possible. They don't have to be perfect, but get them as close as you can. And then you've got all your motor wires like right here together. You can just come in with your little clippers and just make sure the right wire is in the right place. Like make sure you're in this case the pads are staggered on this CL Racing thing, so the center pad is longer. So just make sure you're lining up the right wires, and then you can just take your cutters and you push them up against the cut wire, and that's going to line you up perfectly for the non-cut wire. And you do that one, and then you do this one, and then you do this one, and you're done. Oops. And there you go. And now you've got 2 motors where the motor wires are absolutely the exact same length. I'm going to do the rest of these motors so that for the next month's worth of live streams, I don't only show you this one trick, because lately I've just not been in the right headspace to do a bunch of building, and I've not done any work on these rigs. So I'm going to force myself to do a bunch of work right now. If you want to leave, I get it. I don't know if I would watch a gangly donkey do this for 10 minutes. But, you know, you could ask a question in the chat and I'll talk about it. That's cool. Raboxison says, this is quality build info. Thank you, dude. It's interesting. Like, it kind of benefits me to show tips and tricks over and over and over again, because not everybody watches every single live stream. But, like, I feel bad doing that because the super loyal people that do watch every single one are going to get terribly bored. But, like, I don't know, maybe nobody's paying attention, so maybe it is good to show stuff a bunch of times in a row. Maybe? Anybody paying attention? No? Ah, perfect. Yeah. Bob Noxious says, are those CL Racing LEDs? They sure are. I really like the race LEDs with the pads staggered, but also the CL Racing are the only ones that come in purple. And oddly enough, they sell them in both purple and red. So yeah, I'm going to be buying CL Racing race LEDs from now on. There really is no appreciable difference in race LEDs. They're like, sure, Tiny's LEDs was like the first one to kind of do them, but I don't know, man. I have a hard time, like, just... I mean, they don't make them in the color that I want. Sorry. But if you don't make something in the color that I want, I'm going to buy it from somebody, and there's somebody else that does, like, I'm going to buy it from that other person. And if that makes me a jerk, then I guess I'm a jerk. I've been called worse. Tiny's LEDs did at some point make them in purple, but now they don't. So, Chris Long says, listening to building and getting tips on building while building. Oh, and PayPal. Oh, damn. Chris Long sends $20. Thank you, brother. Based Pop Stream. What is based pop stream? For the prop tip and the medicine man. Feel better today. Thanks. Thank you, brother. Let's get that medicine man cometh updated here. There we go. Thank you, dude. Very cool of you. Rabbi Assistant said, what? Did you say something? I bet you thought I was paying attention. Learn this from being married. Careful with that. Careful. Careful not listening. You think they don't know, but they know. They know. I'll tell you that from experience. They know. These are also 2450 kV motors, so you guys can either motor limit these down for 6S, which I've done successfully for over a year and noticed absolutely no difference, or you can just run them on 4S. That is a trick that pisses electrical engineers off, because there's unequivocally there is a difference, and you shouldn't do that. But if I can't feel the difference in the air, and if my run times are no different, and if all these things don't support the math, like I get it, the math is there, and I'm sure there is a subtle difference, but the difference is there at 100% throttle. And we do not fly at 100% throttle as freestyle pilots for more than like a sum total of 5 seconds maybe over the course of a battery. Because we're at full throttle for like less than a second, right? With 5-inch rigs. We just blip full throttle. We don't like lay into it and leave it sit there. Because if we did that, we would go 7,000 feet in the air within 2 seconds, and then we would just have to wait to come down. And it also just, like, it feels bad. Like, it feels abusive to just sit these things at full throttle for more than a second. Like, it's you gain so much speed and distance and height and whatever in that short amount of time that, like, yeah, it's just not something that that happens often. So even in racing, like, they don't sit at full throttle. They're constantly modulating the throttle. They're moving up and down. You can hear it. It's why, like, I secretly kind of hate when racer pilots come out to freestyle flies and go ripping around trees and stuff, because it sounds awful. Like, it's just I hate the way that it sounds, and like, it always makes me feel like, oh fuck, man, we're gonna get kicked out of here. But I don't know, maybe I'm just racist towards racing. I wouldn't put it past me. Jason Black says, I've been flying and listening to the stream. What a combo. Hell yeah. That's pretty cool. Bob Noxious says, when I'm building, I'll always put a CiottiFPV stream on to listen to. It makes the building process more enjoyable. I absolutely love that. A lot of you guys say that, and that's amazing. Michael D says, don't forget about the diversity antenna. What, talking about it on the newbie drone board? Yeah, apparently it's not true diversity, which is interesting, if that's what you're referring to. But I mean, having one antenna left to right, it's a Tinywhoop. It doesn't matter. Although I guess it maybe matters, because it's in my mind the BLV4 only really makes sense on a tiny lifter, and that's something that you might fly a little bit farther away. But I don't know. They did that on the ELRS antenna, and like, even with a shitty ELRS antenna, I can't imagine a world where you wouldn't outfly the shit of your video, even with 400 milliwatts on ELRS. So I don't really think any of it matters, to be totally honest. Because, yeah, 400 milliwatts is great and all, but on a Tinywhoop, like, yeah, I don't think there's ever a world where you're going to need any more than like a very simple ELRS antenna to get beyond the range of 400 million watts. That's what it stands for, right? It's a million. It's 400 million watts. That's it. It's not for anybody that doesn't know. It's not. Michael D says, I was referring to the video receiver you have connected to the PC. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. Thank you, dude, for the reminder. Kevin Sumner says, did you see Bot's stream got suspended multiple times on Friday? No, what the hell happened? That's why I don't play your guys' videos. I mean, that's why I kind of don't do that format that he has, where like I play other people's videos and react to them, because like you pick the music for your video, and then when I play your video with that music, as a live streamer, like the stakes are a lot higher. As you play other people's videos, and and YouTube recognizes those songs, content aware recognizes those songs, and it immediately demonetizes your video, which is fine for me because I don't monetize these videos because I don't want you guys to have to watch the commercials, and you just don't make hardly any money off of the monetized videos. Yeah, so they demonetize you, but then they connect all of those copyrighted songs. Well, the normally it's not an issue because those artists now are gonna, if your video was monetized, they would make the money from your video, right? So usually that's the end of it. But sometimes what they can do, I mean, not sometimes, they can, and they will at some point, file a copyright strike against you. They can do it at any moment. And as a live streamer, when that happens, you can no longer live stream on YouTube. They just immediately turn off your ability to live stream. And this happened to me already. And that's not like if I can't live stream, like I've just been fired from my job. So yeah, that's sort of the main reason. But the other reason is that while you're live streaming, and this has also happened to me, they will like interrupt your stream. Like they don't want you to just sit here and live stream other people's music. That's against the terms of service. So yeah, they will like interrupt your stream and like kind of almost kick you off. It's kind of creepy. So yeah, I've always been amazed that Bot has been able to just like get away with it over and over and over again. So it doesn't surprise me at all that happened to him, because like that was my experience with it. And I was like, nope, I ain't doing this. Like I love you guys and all. I want to play your videos, but not at the risk of everything I'm doing here. Can you guys even see what I'm doing? I'm doing it here. Oh, look at that. I'm on camera. Okay, cool. So yeah, there's that. Oh man, I was having to scream last night because the music was so loud. And apparently that's catching up with me. Luckily, I've only got one motor left, so let's knock this out. And then we will shut this mother down. Look at this. I can no longer give you guys the same tip about how to measure up the motors, because this is the last one. Kevin Sumner says, seems like it was copyrighted music. Yeah. Yeah. The compromise that I have is over on Patreon. Over on Discord. There is a patron-only text channel called the Video Collective, and that is your guys' spot to drop your edits with copyrighted music. And while I'm doing the giveaways every other Monday, I will put a couple of those videos on. And unfortunately, because of everything we just talked about, I can't use your music. I have to put Epidemic Sounds on top of it. And that, like the music is a big part of it. So like I want to do something, but I can't get in trouble. So that's kind of the best that I can do. But yeah, I'm not going to just play hours worth of music with random Epidemic Sounds on top of it. Like that's not what you're artistic intent was for the video. And to be honest, the music can make the flying. Like, and in my opinion, it kind of does. Like, picking the right song for the flying is a big part of, like, FPV edits. That is what FPV edits are for me. The FPV edits are not just putting a chest cam on and just kind of like phoning it in and just, you know, like, that's not FPV edits to me. That's just like you going out and flying, and like that's not really what I want to watch on YouTube. Like, I don't want to just watch somebody else fly. Like, I'll go out and fly. I want to watch somebody else's. I want more than that, to be really honest. Like, I want somebody to put some work into the edit, and that's what I do. That's why I don't put out just like stick cam edits. Yeah, like if I'm gonna go fly myself, if that's what, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. FPV edits to me are somebody cutting down their best moments and syncing them up with music that gives me like an actual like experience, and like I can feel it, and like that, like the emotion from that song comes through, and the emotion from their flying hopefully matches it, and like the way they edited it, and they're showing me like the best of, like, you know, I went out and I flew 8 batteries, and here's like the best of those 8 batteries. I don't like just want to see like 5 minutes of your life. Sorry, but like I ain't got time for that. Got to put a little bit more work in to get me, or just make a DayZ video and I'll watch the whole fucking thing. Because I watch like these 45-minute, hour-long DayZ videos. But those DayZ videos are like 30 hours of them playing the game edited down. So it's kind of the same thing. FPV says on bot stream they would suspend it until the violin content was finished playing and the stream would come back on. Interesting. That's new. The chat stayed live the whole time. That's interesting. That's not the way that it's been. That's a little bit more gentle than it used to be. They used to just kill the stream. You would play too many copyrighted songs and they would just kick you off and they would just end the stream. That's a much better system there. I mean, it's still like a mess, but yeah, it still makes the stream like not unwatchable because the chat's still there, but for on replay that is like kind of worthless because it's just gonna, yeah, you're not gonna have chat on the replay. There you guys go. This is what 4 motors worth of extra leads looks like, and then you use these guys to go from the race wire to the ESC, and that's going to be the next thing that we kind of talk about. Although, you know what? Here, I'll give you a sneak peek, real quick, a sneak peek of the next part. So the next thing that you can do here is actually solder the race wires on, and that's what we'll do for the next week. Maybe not. Oh shit, I'm gonna run out of solder. I noticed last time I pulled solder off the reel that the reel was damn near empty. So now you've got your motor wires cut to the exact right length. You take your fingernails because they will not nick the metal on the inside. If you use metal cutters, you run the risk of nicking the strands of wire that are on the inside. So if you have fingernails, this is the best thing to do. And you just drive your fingernails into the rubber and then pull it off. And that's the safest possible way. Got an eyebrow hair in here. To strip your wires down. And you want to strip just the exact right amount where you can have good contact on the pad, but you can leave the silicone hanging off the edge. You've got your wire, and then you've got your exposed bits of wire, and then you've got the silicone. And you want to take your pad, and you want the pad to go like on the race wire, or the ESC, to go like this. You want the silicone, which is my ring finger and pinky, You want that to hang off the side. What you don't want is this, because when you have this, there's this void in here, and you don't want that void in there. You want the silicone to be off the side of the pad so that the strands of wire sit perfectly flat against that pad. If this then gets yanked, it's trying to yank the pad directly off the side, and the pad will be really strong if being yanked like this. If it's sitting up like this and this gets yanked, it's going to try to peel the pad right off that PCB, and it's much, much, much less strong in that direction, and you will absolutely peel a pad right off. But if you have them like this, my God, is it strong. These can get pulled really hard, and they won't rip the pads off. So unfortunately, the only problem with these staggered race wire LEDs is that the center wire is going to have to be up. The silicone is not going to be able to hang off the edge, but the outer two will be proper and they'll be nice and strong. So it'll be good to go. But yeah, technically that is the only thing that's not good about these staggered pad race wires. Most of my rigs have the non-staggered Tiny's LED race wires on them, and they're not that hard. The staggered ones are a little bit easier because the two outer ones won't want to bridge. I don't know. I got the CL Racing ones because they came in purple. They were the only ones I could find that came in purple. But yeah, that is a thing, for the record. The non-staggered ones will be a little bit stronger because you'll be able to hang the silicone off the edge on all three pads. But they're just a little bit harder to keep from bridging. These staggered pad ones are like a joke to keep from bridging. So you strip your wires, you get your little bit of solder, and you're going to tin the wires. We're also going to tin the pads on the race wire itself. I need more solder than that. Oh, there it is. That was it. That's the last bit of solder. I literally cannot continue with these builds until I get more solder. I have officially run through an entire spool of MG Chemicals 6040 23 gauge 2.2% flux 0.025 diameter solder. Does it tell me it's a half a pound? I've gone through, in the last 6+ years, I've gone through a half a pound of solder. I'm gonna get 3763, whatever the hell it is, on this next run. Still gonna get MG Chemicals though. I'm gonna put this right here next to my desk so I can do an Amazon order. The best case scenario is to now flux everything. It's actually kind of nice to flux these exposed bits of wire. What the hell's going on with my flux? Is it clogged? What's happening? Yeah, this is really nice. This really ensures that you get... Oh, fuck. I fucked that up. I caught the bits of wire in it. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, flux your shit. Flux all the things. Anywhere there is flux in solder, so no matter what, you'll get a little, but it definitely helps to add a little bit of extra flux. Why is this so hard to plunge? All right, we're going to do it on that side. If you want beautifully shiny balls, you got to use flux. First thing you do is tin the wires and tin the pads, and that just means that you add some initial solder to them. You're going to put the soldering iron below the exposed bit of wire, and then you're going to add the solder in from the top. This makes sure that you're pushing solder in between all of the little individual strands of wire. On the pads, you're just going to make sure that you don't add too much. That's the big thing to remember there. So I'm actually just going to use this last little bit of solder here to tin the tip of the soldering iron. The trick, like the reason that we tin the tip of the soldering iron is to get some flux on it. That smoke that you see, that's flux burning off. Flux is basically just petroleum. So when you get it really hot, it smokes. And burns off and vaporizes or whatever. So yeah, on these pads here, you just add a good amount. You want like a little bit of a bubble, but you don't want like a big, huge blob. That is not... there is actually a thing as too much flux. Too much solder, rather. Jesus Christ. So now you've got the pads tinned and the wires tinned. Now you're done with your solder. You've got enough solder pre-tinned on the wires and the pads, where at this point you just stick everything together. I forget what I used to do. Did I used to do the middle one first? Let's see. I'm going to do the outside farthest away from me first, making sure that the silicone hangs off the edge of the PCB. Hold it as still as you can while it's cooling. And now the first one I always do like you just saw. The next two I do with my little fine-tipped tweezers. What's nice is, and what you want to do, is get the wire perfectly in position before the tip of the soldering iron comes down. You don't want to be using the tip of the soldering iron to move the wire around. You just want to use it to add heat. The tip of the soldering iron is there to add heat, not to move wires. Cool, so get everything out of the way, get it exactly where you want it. And what you can do with your fine-tip tweezers is you can push down on them, and you can push them into your like wood block or your PCB, and that'll hold the wire perfectly steady. And then you just come in and push down to add heat. And just wait a second for it to cool. And because you're kind of like bracing the tips of the tweezers against the PCB or your little wood block here, the solder joint will be extremely strong because it was completely motionless when it was cooling. And we're going to do that again here, making sure that the silicone hangs off the edge of the PCB. And pull the tip in to add a little bit of heat. And at this point, you can move it around with the tweezers a little bit. Because for like a split second, you are kind of holding the wire in place with the tip of the soldering iron. So if you need to move the wire a little bit like I did here, that's your chance. Stay nice and still. And then inspect your work with your little 5X loop that you really should have if you're doing any electronics work. And what I'm noticing here is that I accidentally bridged the wire. They've got a little resistor, I think it is here, and I've accidentally bridged this wire to the resistor. I kind of saw that happening. It might be okay, but there's no reason to take the chance. Just come in here, hit it with some heat, let the wire lift up off the pad. I mean, at this point, we should really reflux it, but just really quickly, I'm going to show you. Get the wire up off the pad, break that little solder bridge that happened there. Check it again. I got a little bit too much solder still on the... we're going to come in here with some flux. That's going to help. Okay. All right, so these two guys are fluxed. To break a solder bridge, you're going to heat both parts of it up and then just like quickly move the tip of the soldering iron. You want to make sure that you don't move it in a way that like knocks any components off the board, but what you're trying to do is you're kind of flicking some of the solder off of those two parts that are getting a little too close there. So that's what I just did there. There we go. Okay, cool. So I think what's happening is as I stripped back this wire a little bit too far, and then I was a little heavy-handed with the application of the solder. So we're going to come back in here. I'm going to flux one more time. Every time you touch the soldering iron to it, you burn off the flux that's there. So we're going to flux it one more time here. And then I'm just going to be a little bit more careful with where this wire is kind of sitting here to make sure the wire doesn't go too far forward again. And I'll get my tweezers up nice and close so I have maximum control. And now we got it. This will be fine this time. Oh, no, just moved a little bit. All right, wait for the smoke from the flux. There we go. Get it where we want it. And there we go. And you just want to make sure that the wires, the strands of wire push down onto the pad. That's the most important thing. And I need to add the tiniest little bit of solder here. I just don't have quite enough on this guy. So I'm going to hold it exactly where it is because it's in the right position. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of solder on the tip of the soldering iron, and I'm going to keep it away from that little resistor this time. And there we go. That's better. Give it a second to cool, and now we're good. Check your work one last time, and there's no more solder bridge between the wire and the pad. So let me use this little tiny cam here to show you guys what I just did. I need to set up a scene that has this thing get nice and big, but for right now, I'll just do this. And here's what that looks like. So first thing I want you to notice is the silicone hanging off. Let's do this down here. Silicone hanging off the side of the pad. See that? All right, I'll show you on the other side. That's what you want. You don't want the silicone. Come on now. There it goes. You don't want the silicone to be up on top of the pad. In comparison to the middle wire, see the angle that the middle wire is at? We have to in this case, but yeah, the outer ones are going to get yanked. And then you want some nice shininess. And you can see here, that's the wire that was getting a little too close to that resistor. You might be able to see that. Nah, I mean, this thing focuses close, but not that close. But yeah, there you guys go. That's what I just did, turning the soldering iron off, and it's definitely not NASA approved. Very true, Bob Noxious. Kevin Sumner says, I think I have a spare spool of solder I'll probably never use. Do you want it? Sorta, but I mean, it's so cheap that it's probably not worth the shipping and hassle and whatnot. And I mean, eventually you'll get through it. Just do more builds, dude. That's the key. Just build more. Don't build more. Build less. Building is aggravating. Arizona FPV says, how durable is the FPV Cycle Glide? The frame itself is actually not super durable, but it's durable. It's the exact right amount of durability. You really don't want your frame to be infinitely durable because shit's going to break no matter what. And the first thing that you're going to start breaking a lot of is motors. And motors are way more expensive and way more of a pain in the ass to replace. The glide arms are the perfect amount of strength where they will typically break before the motor breaks. And that's exactly what I want because I want to be as cheap as possible in this hobby. And yeah, something's going to break. When you hit really hard, something's going to break. So I would always rather it be an arm. So yeah, the Glide is absolutely not the most durable frame. But that's my favorite thing about it. It's the exact right amount of durability. What I will say is, if you build fat quads that are like 750 plus grams, the Glide is not the frame for you at all. I don't know how you would even build a Glide frame to be that heavy because it's a very light frame. But yeah, if you like put tons of TPU all over your rigs and you put massive motors on them, it's not the frame for you. The point of the Glide frame is you run 2306s, nice lightweight 30, 31 gram, 29 gram motors. You run a lightweight HD cam, Session 5, Action 2. Arguably, the Glide frame could be the best possible frame for a DJI O3 setup because it's the nose is really long to give yourself room for the 20x20 flight controller. So that pushes the camera fairly far forward, and it's a nice lightweight frame. you would not want to, I mean, you absolutely can run like a Hero 11 or a Hero 10 on it, but you're starting to push the limits. It would be better to run a Hero 11 Mini on a glide frame. But yeah, it's the intent behind the glide frame was not durability. It was flight characteristics. And the fact that that it's like just durable enough is kind of perfect. And I don't think Bob necessarily intended that. It was just sort of like a happy accident. I continue to try new frames out, and I continue to be disappointed by them. The Glide is still, in my opinion, the best FPV frame that there is. Kevin Sumner says, Super Deluxe streams right after with copyrighted music. I wonder if they only run the copyright detection on live streams above some number of views subscribers. That would not surprise me at all. And then Arizona says, is the FPV Cycle Glide the same as the Hyperlight Glide frame? Bob originally designed the Glide frame when he was working with Pyrodrone. They had a falling out. It's always been Bob's frame. They started making their Hyperlight version of it. Bob was not happy about that, but he didn't want to get lawyers involved. He's just not that kind of guy. So he lets them produce the Hyperlight. It is similar. It is not exactly the same. Bob has made improvements to the Glide that Pyrodrone does not have. So the Glide from FPV Cycle is absolutely better at this point than the Hyperlight Glide frame. The Hyperlight Glide frame is still pretty damn good. The reason that Bob stopped having the Glide frame made from Pyrodrone is that they were not using a carbon fiber manufacturer that was basically good enough for what Bob wanted. So there's another reason that the Hyperlight Glide frame is not going to be as good. It's cut by, yeah, just lesser quality folks. So yeah. Athix says the Hyper Trash Glide. It's still a great friend. It's still a great frame. Thanks for hanging out, friends. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Head on over to CiottiFPV.com, click all the buttons, and I'll keep doing this full time. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow night. It's a giveaway night. Join Patreon if you want to get on the giveaways. It's explained over there. $5, $10, $20 a month tiers will get you entered into giveaways tomorrow night. Or the $30 a month tier, $1 a day, will enter you into 6 giveaways a month. And you'll win a bunch of stuff. And that'll pay for some of that $30 a month, $1 a day. Love you guys. Be good. Here's some glip glops from the flip flop. Here's a little bit of flying from the gig last night. I'll play the very first battery where I was just kind of chilling out. Chilling. I want to give you guys some music over it. Future bass. Beats, dark and mysterious. Oh, I can't even hear it. Oh, this is it. Oh, this is it. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is it. Love you guys. See you tomorrow night. Prepare for some hotness. Maybe. Let me get this turned down real quick. All the way down. We don't need any of them Tinywhoop noises. Later, friends!